Smash this button. Then we are going to go over to this. Smash some things. Smash some buttons. Are you guys, can somebody check the Twitch channel? Let me check and see if this is up and running. And when you do, I just want to know if you can hear if there's like echo through my voice through the way that the sound is set up. And if there is, I'm just going to punch myself in the nards and
talking shit in game chat right now.
Check out this area.
Anybody? Bueller? Echo 17, come in.
Should go around the table and ask.
Come in. No, I just want to know if there's echo in on the Twitch channel. Just need one of you guys to check it out because it's just
teasing you because you don't like us.
Oh. All right, never mind. We're just gonna leave it.
Well,
sorry, but
give us a link.
Sorry.
I don't know where to find your fucking channel, Gary. I asked you twice last time to put the link up, and I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I could post it on my Facebook. You know, advertise it. People come watch it.
There. There's the link. There's the link. What did you think the frickin' link was going to be? How hard did you think it was going to be to find?
I searched for that and I couldn't find it. I
Really?
searched Twitch for the Murder Hobo Show, and then the Murder Hobo, and then Hobo Show, and I couldn't.
Wow. That just goes to show you how extremely unimportant I am, Eric. Even fucking Twitch won't call me out by name. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that said, there you go. There's the link. There's the deal. I'm going to smash this button here. We're going to fire this up. So, recapping what happened last week. Our party of adventurers were partying it up in this tavern called the Rusty Anchor, with the hot ladies, Chesterella, Madam Easy, and put her in Anyport. When your captain came flying in, Captain Blade flies in. He's got this artifact in hand. He gives you the gentleman. The ship is set and sail, is how I should have played it, but I didn't. He was under duress. And then after he told you guys that it was time to go, he runs out the front door when you get jumped by the Old Crotch crew, a very sort of famous pirate boating crew that is local to the area. Everybody knows the Old Crotch crew. In fact, your captain has told you stories before about how they were in cahoots at some point in the past, doing jobs together, trying to take out people for prizes. That led to the Rusty Anchor getting burned to the ground through a number of spells that were cast, etc., etc. Pushed you guys out into the city streets. I got some sweet dinging going on, which is awesome. Oh, I know why. Let's do this right out of the gate. Turn that off. Pushed you out into the city streets, where we ran a nice chase scene. You guys were being chased from the Rusty Anchor through the streets. I put a nice little split in, and the premise was to make it to the ship, the Adventurer, before it set sail. That led to the Adventurer, this was the final scene in which we had set sail. We had made it clear of the port town of Brigandy Bay. And let me smash the bill button so that we get the boat up. Then you can see good old Captain Blade was hanging out on the ship by the steering wheel. I guess that's what you call it. Is that what you call a steering wheel deal? And he had this mysterious artifact that he was fidgeting with. He somehow managed to activate it, and once he activated it, a storm enveloped the entire area that you guys were in. The ship was caught in a whirlpool, and you seem to recall, or you saw these three sort of like demon-winged, demon-like creatures. What happened with Eric? Eric disconnected? He's all right. And then that was it. Once we went down, everything faded to black, which is a really neat feature that I could do. Boosh, look at that. It's fantastic. So we're going to set it to morning light, and we are going to pick up this adventure with our crew awakening. Yo. Oh, don't start. Don't start with me, you piece of junk. Why? I just want to know why. Come on. Attempting to sync netcode. Error in script. All right.
All right, you're coming through on Twitch, but your sound is kind of weird. Not as good as what we hear on Discord.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's because it's plumbed through whatchamacallit. I do not know what is going on, but I do have a backup. I'm going to load this table. The only difference is you guys might lose your bennies. I'll have to straighten that out. See if my backup
and I
works.
don't know if anybody else is coming through because nobody's talked so far. So
Okay, let's see what we got here.
Here's the test. Eric is awesome. Eric is awesome.
Wow.
Said nobody ever.
all right, I'm coming through, but yeah, I sound robotic too, just like you.
Must be your
Um,
engine.
Destroy all humans.
Chris, Gary, it's better than last time.
Okay, let's delete that. I just want to dole out your bennies. Control C, delete. Eric's got 3.
Have to say, Eric. Gary. Very nice scene. Love that. Well done.
And Control V, Control V. Okay, everybody's got their bennies. Good to go?
Yep.
All right, let's adjust it to, let's say we're going to dim the lights a little bit down to an early morning, maybe a dusk. Let's go with a dusk. It's a nice, set the tone a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Starting with Daryl. We're going to go, oh, wait a second here. Do you guys, I wanted to show you this. I did import the cards. Let's go to, I just want to do a quick check. So I'm going to hit, just for my own confirmation here, I want to see if it deals to everybody. There is no white player inside the game. If I deal, yeah, this is what a dumb feature. It deals cards to everybody, even though everybody isn't here. I'm gonna reset
So
these
just ignore
cards.
the ones that aren't here.
Yeah, it's just easier to go this other route. We're going to shuffle this deck, and I'm going to deal starting with red.
Can't you specify the colors to deal it to?
No, there's not a way to trigger like who's sitting at the table. It should just be you 4. Like I can deal to red, yellow, green, but I have to go through that route. It'd be nice if deal to all just dealt to the players that are actively sitting in seats. Everybody has their adventure cards. Why does all of a sudden somebody stole?
Yeah,
Guys are
I
killing
gave
me.
it to him.
his and I don't know why you did that.
So
I gave it
one
to him.
card?
Gotcha. Here is a deck also of the power cards, if you guys are interested. If you want multiple decks, that's fine.
Would anybody like this card?
How do I?
Should we get
nobody
2
would-
cards? We're seasoned.
Nobody can see the card. Oh, yeah, there you go, unless you drop it on the table. Orange. Didn't mean to deal that too. There you go.
Alt.
Yeah, press Alt.
That will show it to you, yeah, like big screen, which is kind of
Oh,
nice.
Not very good for a mute person.
Did you call the deck?
No, I don't. I didn't.
I only have one card. Is this?
What's that?
I only have one card. Is it normal?
Yeah, these images
You'll-
look, I don't know what you're complaining about, Eric.
They're not. Some of them are, some of them aren't. Oh, there you go, Daryl.
So thank you. So I have to just press Alt to bring it up so I can see it better, to magnify it?
Yep. Alt will.
Hover over it and press Alt.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You can do that with anything on the table.
Oh, good to know.
Mouse over in Alt. I'll give you guys a second to check out your adventure cards, make sure you're cool with it.
Cards. I've got the one that allows you to use a spell, any spell from the book once, if anyone wants to trade.
Oh, shit.
Any
I think
spell.
we only have one caster.
Yeah, I could use that, but let me see what I could trade.
I have something for a face. Not very good for a person who can't speak.
How about Get Savage? Your character gains the benefit of any one edge regardless of requirements for the rest of the encounter.
I'll take it.
I'll put this on the table if anybody wants to look at it.
Thank you. Thank you, Daryl.
I don't think I'm.
I don't know how to flip things.
F.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, let me take a look at this. See, fucking Apple doesn't have a.
It doesn't have an F key on your keyboard.
No, I have to use a control or option. Yeah, option. That works.
There's also
Uh,
M for magnifier.
Option does it, I believe. I'm using an Apple keyboard.
Okay, at least this one says does or says something. Does. Okay.
Okay. Everybody's good?
Yeah.
Fling it through the
I'm
air.
good, Captain.
That's mine, right?
Thank you, Captain Gary.
Cool. Okay.
You salty landlubber.
Yeah, that's
Daryl is playing. I remember what your character's name is.
Karina.
Karina. All right. So, you guys, the last thing that you remember was swirling down through this gigantic whirlpool that your ship was caught in. You were tossed and turned and banged into things. Loose cargo was flying around, and then the world just faded to blackness. I immediately forgot what your character's name was, Daryl. Cassandra?
Yeah.
Karina. Karina, you awake at some part of this ship. I'm not sure if you. I'm not going to say you made it into the hull or you were on the deck as it went down. I'm not sure where it is, but let's put you outside of the ship. Your eyes flutter open, and the ocean is no longer there. You are laying on sort of a bed of sand, and it's in your eyes and in your face. Your face feels hot, like you've been laying here for some time, and maybe you've got some kind of a sunburn or something like that, but you can feel as you sort of like push yourself up to sort of stand up and get to your feet that your lips are parched and you feel dehydrated. It's as if you've been laying outside for a number of hours in the sunlight. You make me a vigor check. See if you can withstand this heat, and if you fail this vigor check, you're going to take a level of fatigue for being a touch dehydrated.
Give me a sec. Oh. How did that happen? Okay, give me a sec.
Nobody knows. How did that happen? Double click on the 6, my man.
Okay, here we go.
And here
Oh,
comes
sorry.
Robert Litchford.
That's a fail.
Yeah.
So 3 and a 2.
Okay. I'll spend a penny.
Okay, so a six is a success, so that's good. So you've just got a touch of the parched lips, a bit of a red side of your face a little bit. It's kind of like your skin feels sort of dry and tense, like you've been standing near an oven for far too long. You regain your composure and look around, and you can't see or hear any of your other crew members. Everything is silent except for this consistent howling of wind and fluttering noise of small sand crystals as they sort of blow across the dry ground. What are you going to do, Daryl, my man?
She's gonna, well, being her background, she's originally from Earth, desert sand dweller. She's Arabic descent. She's kind of stunned. She looks up, totally disoriented, shocked as she looks around and sand everywhere. She's not expecting that. Caribdis isn't, it's a water world. And then she kind of gets a small smile because she grew up in the sand. She likes it. But then she tries to look up at the sky and try to place herself. See if she's still on Charybdis, see what the placement of the sun, where she is, looking for any kind of geographical landmarks. And that's pretty much. Then afterwards, if she can do anything else, she'll scan the wreckage or the area around her for survivors or her crew members.
Okay. Yeah, so you pop two familiar with this sort of geographical area, like, sand and stuff is nothing new to you. You do notice that someone has drawn a gigantic wiener in the sand, which is really weird. Like, for being out in the middle of nowhere, this must have been some man's dying, in a fit of delirium. He must have drawn a giant wiener in the sand. You look around, looking for your other crew member. Any place in particular? Are you just going to walk around the boat, check for damage? Do you want to maybe go inside?
Yeah, she's gonna do a circuit and then enter the wreckage.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you guys. Oh, I think it's because if I go a different route, then okay, how's that?
Typing.
I think the problem is I have
Mary's
to.
coming in fine. It must be on your end.
No, I
Okay,
adjusted.
maybe, sorry.
I adjusted my sensitivity.
Okay.
All right, so Daryl, you do like an inspection, walk around the boat and whatnot. Make me a notice roll.
Okay, give me 1 second. All right. Wow, critical fail.
You rolled double once, or just you only rolled one dice one time?
Okay, give me a sec here.
You poke yourself in the eye with a sharp stick. You can now take the blind hindrance.
Okay, I'm having an issue. Okay, I can't select the dice for some reason.
Hold on a second. Let me try this.
Just click.
This. Set it
This
right
mouse doesn't have buttons.
here.
There we go. Thank you.
That is a critical fail then. Sweet justice. Okay, so you start walking around this ship. You go inside. You're peeking around. You're calling out for your fellow compatriots. When you round a corner and you snag your bow, which you now realize has snapped in half. It must have got crushed inside of the accident or something like that, but pieces or a little fragment of it snaps off and it just twang and it just falls to the ground, but it hits you in the face a little bit and you've got like a sliver sticking into your eyelash. It's not going to blind you or anything like that, but it really catches you, takes you aback, and you spend a few minutes like cautiously trying to pull this sliver from your freshly broken longbow out of your eyelid. We go over to Mr. Krabs. Mr. Krabs, you come to. You don't have any lips, so to speak, I would assume. Your little flapper, whatever kind of mouth or gummy bit that you have, also is filled with salt. And you also as well feel dehydrated, as if you've been put in an oven for some time. And I want to get you to make me a vigor roll as well to see how well you handle it.
I failed my vigor roll.
Okay, so you're just going to take 11, unless you want to Benny it.
Yeah, I'm gonna Benny it.
Okay.
I got a 10.
Sweet. All right, so you're completely unaffected. You found a nice, cool spot to crash in the bottom of the boat. In fact, one of the water barrels in the immediate vicinity of where you ended up after you got tossed and turned around the boat has broken open, and you found yourself sort of laying in a small pool of cool water in the shade of the bottom of the boat. You can hear, as you come to, the sharp sound of a woman screaming a little bit. You just from somewhere in the ship, and that's sort of what startled and brought you to. What is it you would like to do?
I'm gonna head directly to the galley and get something to eat.
You do not care if the ship's all right. Okay, so in the galley, you walk into this little bit, maybe push a couple of crates out of the way, and you roll in. And inside the galley, you can see that somebody else, the singing sword, yeah, he's there as well. You found him. He's splayed up underneath a table with his arms wrapped around it like he was holding on for his dear life. But he is completely unconscious, and there's food and remnants and bits of stuff just hammered all over the place. You easily find leftover salted fish or some kind of nutritious meal as you rummage through the remains of the galley. You make so much noise, however, that the singing sword awakes from his slumber inside of the galley.
Oh!
Like wet and splashing on him.
Yeah, whiz, urine.
Whoa, come here.
Is that what it's going to be? A pizzazz? No? Okay.
It'd just be ale or water.
All right, so you throw some alcohol on his sorry ass. Singing sword, you wake up to a nice splash of some kind of lukewarm liquid. Yellow and fizzy. You look around.
Jesus,
and
man.
There's a gigantic crab standing over top of you.
What on earth is wrong with you?
Why
you
you
say-
sing all the time?
Look,
Tis
Tis in my bones. Tis in my very bones. You dare to wake a man up by putting ale on his face. At least ask me to open my mouth first. A free drink is a free drink.
Would you rather
Anyway, what are we
whiskey
doing?
it?
What's going on?
you say all of this through parched lips. Make me a vigor roll as well to see if you're going to take any kind of fatigue from the heat of this area. All right, not a problem. Yeah, you catch most of that liquid alcohol right in the sweet mouth. You sing up, you pop up, everything's looking good. You're feeling a bit famished, and luckily for you, you're already in the galley. Looking around, you can see some broken containers, some of the food, the salted, pickled fish or whatever it is that's on board. There's even a delicious ham sandwich like laying right by your face.
I pick up the sandwich and I start to sort of walk and talk with Mr. Krabs, and I'm like, all I remember was that the captain was fiddling something on the front of the board. Jesus, my head. The ship. And then there was two sexy women.
Too sexy. There's three. In
Sorry,
fact,
I can't hear the sea.
Mr. Krabs corrects you and tells you that there was actually three women. Three beautiful women appeared as you guys went down. It seems to be the last thing that you remember.
It was
No, Krabs. There was two good-looking women, and one woman I wouldn't shake a stick.
Wow. I'm thinking that's a little uncalled for. I'm just saying.
I bet you thought Puerto in any port was ugly too, huh?
Look, she was a solid 9, but the singing sword, he only gets 10s. This voice is sung from here to Brigandy Bay, and you know that the ladies love a good singing voice. The things I can do to a vagina, Mr. Krabs.
Wow. Can you sing to it? Is that what you're doing? Let's just leave that there. I don't really want to know. That said, the two of you are having a delicious meal inside this cabin. You can hear some rustling coming from, in different sections of the boat. Somebody's obviously trying to make their way around inside the boat. You can hear Karina calling out for you guys every once in a while. And Mask of Winter, what is your character's name?
She can't call out.
That's right.
Mute.
She's mute. She can't say anything. You hear this. Sorry, that's actually probably kind of insulting. So I'm not going to do that ever again.
Exactly. She doesn't do that at all. She's silent.
Yeah, I just kind of was thinking like Lou Ferrigno from the old Hulk days and stuff. That's completely uncalled for, and I apologize for that. So she's you don't hear anything but the soft sound of footsteps and maybe the scuttle of sand down steps. Arnaud, how do you say your name? Why can't you just be called Bob?
I don't know.
You don't know.
He's saying his name.
Savignac.
That's actually his name. I don't know.
Fantastic. Okay, so you come to. You can hear somebody walking around on top of the boat. You can hear the clanging of cupboards and shelves, things opening. I'm going to get you to make me a vigor check as well. See if you're going to take some bumps and bruises from this boat crashing and careening into the...
Last episode I left with 1 level of fatigue. Is that still on?
Yeah, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to give you the screws today, mister.
Alright. Sure. Alright, hold on.
Shit.
That would be... Alright, D4, D6.
Shit.
5 minus your first level of fatigue is a 4?
1, 4, yeah.
Yep. All right. So you're good. You spring up in a nice shady area underneath the boat somewhere. So the tables and chairs around you, the kegs, the material that you guys were hauling, the boat's supplies and stuff, have seemed to have somehow made their way from the storage area into the area that you're at. Do you need me to set your color, Harrison?
Sorry about that.
No, it happens. There you go. You should be back where you're at. There's rubble and broken bits of the ship strewn about the entire room that you're in. And the thing that you notice most of all is there's actually a touch of daylight streaming in through a gigantic crack in the side of the hull. And sand is like slowly billowing into this room that you're in.
Alright, well, that's basically where Arnaud wanted to be. Drinking wine, he's parched, and he feels like that party at Chateau Versailles that he woke up from and was really hungover. That's how he feels, but he's going to be drinking wine in there, opening a cask or whatever, and getting hydrated.
All right. Fantastic. So as
people
you
can hear him sing songs, Sur les ponts d'Avignon.
Shut up!
you hear from across the ship, nobody is taken aback by the fact that they've just crashed in their boat. You guys are all like, yeah, I'm going to go get a sandwich. I'm going to go get some wine. And no worries about the boat being like beached or any of that kind of stuff or crashed or the fact that your crew is nowhere to be found. nowhere to be found.
No, I'm trying to get out, but I'm walking
All
down
in
the ship
due
with
time.
Mr. Krabs.
All in due time. Okay, so you can hear each other now after a few moments. The stirring of other members of your ship. You can't hear the crewmen. Like it is actually quite eerily silent, and you can sort of smell smoke coming from certain parts of the ship billowing in a little bit, like something has definitely gone wrong. And after you grab yourself a nice chug of ham sandwich and a quick drink of wine and whatnot and start making your way out and about, you do notice that the ship is on fire in a couple of different spots. You make your way out of the boat and onto the dry ground. When you look around all you see for miles in any direction is just dry, arid land. You thought at first maybe your ship had just run aground, but it doesn't seem that that's the case. It seems like the boat is like miles from, or not miles, as far as the eye can see in any direction. There doesn't seem to be a water source. So you're very, it's the word I'm looking for. You're not sure of your surroundings or where you actually ended up after this whirlpool. You kind of expected to sort of ride through the storm, but as you look around, you're in some kind of weird dry desert sort of canyon. And there seems to be no signs of civilization or even vegetation for that matter. It's just sort of like an old rocky canyon that you guys have appeared inside of. As you guys make your way out of the ship,
This will puzzle people that find this ship.
Oh, you seen Ark? Where's me buddy Ark?
Probably
Where-
dead.
where is Auk? That is yet to be discovered. Auk is not with us today. You guys are going to
I'm gonna
make your
go
way.
up to the helm where the captain had plugged that thing in and see if that's still there.
Okay, the entire helm has been ripped completely free of its previous location. The only thing that is left there is a few corded cloth sort of ropes that would steer the rudder from the helm. And there doesn't seem to be anything in this immediate location, which is roughly right about where I'm poking at. But
I'm gonna try.
go ahead.
I'm gonna try to climb up to the crow's nest to see if I can have a look further around us. And I know it's at a dodgy angle, but I'm gonna give it a go nonetheless and see if I can see any notable landmarks.
All right, let her rip. Give me a climbing roll, or athletics, I should say. Seems how it's been.
Angus, let's have a look. Let's see what goes on.
Critical fail. Damn it.
Frumph.
Okay, so you easily make your way to the top. And as you sort of grab onto the side rail of the crow's nest and pull yourself over into it at an odd angle, you can see inside the crow's nest is old Bill Foot. Bill Foot is a weird looking peg leg guy. He's only got 1 foot. Nobody ever really knew what Billy's last name was, but Bill is unresponsive, and you wouldn't even worry about calling out to him. Maybe in a fit of panic, as you notice that his neck and his head are at a very unusual angle. He looks like the Colgate brushed your teeth commercial with the flip top head. Bill took quite a beating. His dried husk, carcassy looking husk, has been laying out in the sun for an amount of time that you're not quite sure of. And Billy's not moving. Billy took quite a beating, and he's laying dead in this husk. But while you're up there trying to look around, you take in the scenery, and literally for as far as the eye can see, you do not see any kind of civilization. No landmarks, no plants, no trees. It's just sand and rocks for as far as you can see.
Right. Okay. Guys! Bill's looking a certainly a lighter shade of dead. And there's nothing but rocks and sand for fucking miles.
You call down from the crow's
Maybe-
nest.
How far is a mile?
Mile is
Footprints that we can find.
okay, let me have another look.
You're looking for footprints in the
Yeah,
crow's nest?
I glance around and look into sand to see if there are any footprints, even though I'm sort of like a mile up.
Okay, so looking down, you can tell that there seems to be some kind of pathway. You wouldn't see footprints from where you're at, but you can tell that there is like a definite winding trail that goes through the rocky sort of mountainsides. I don't want to give you guys the impression that it's just a flat desert. There are sort of cliffs and small pathways, and there's no mountains per se, like you would be in the Grand Canyon, so to speak, if that makes sense. In some parts,
I don't know. Hey, I don't know. There's like some cliffs over there, and there's a pathway. The best lead I've got, man.
give me.
And then I swing dramatically from the crow's nest using a bit of like loose rope. Ha ha!
Yes, you do. Have you got rope monkey as a skill?
No, but I've got athletics.
Let her rip. Oh man, if you fail this, you're taking a. Oh. Okay. A 5 is a success. So you managed to find some kind of loose piece of rope, and you like slowly like swing around. And where would you like to land? You want to go to hit the front of the boat, the back of the boat? What are you looking for?
I'm gonna go right next to the rest of the team.
Okay, so I'm gonna take Eric's character. Just gonna set you guys out here.
Once she hears him call out about what he sees, she's going to first of all, she gathers whatever's left of her equipment, her hand axe, her bolo things those guys had. She picked up from the last adventure.
Yep.
And she's going to look for any stored water or dried food, anything that can be brought with us, and she's going to start wrapping it up. Any fabric she can, or stuff that she can. If we're going on a long
Okay.
journey, she's going to start prepping.
All right. So most of that stuff you're going to find inside the boat, in where the galley area would be. You meet up with the guys, sort of give them hand gestures as to what you're doing. You find some provisions that are probably going to last you a couple of days worth of food, and you find one barrel of water that has yet to be smashed open or tapped. So you know that its contents would be good. When I say barrel, it's not a 5-gallon drum. It would be more of like a one of those small beer keg kind of things. Pardon me?
50 gallon? No.
Oh, sorry, 50. Yeah, it's more like a 5-gallon bucket, not a 50-gallon gigantic one. You find like a small one,
So
like
we have enough for one day then.
roughly 1 day's worth of water. Eric, you were looking around for footprints and stuff like that outside the boat. I'd like you to give me a notice roll.
Sure, hold on. Notice another D4. Yeah.
Nice.
Was that-
Fantastic.
4 in there? Okay.
Yeah, the
I
four
There's-
can't
explodes.
see that. Can't see that color real well.
The four
Are you
explodes.
blue
Oh,
blind?
well, I got -1 for fatigue, so
The 4
then
explodes.
it's 3.
Reroll
Okay,
the
That's
so-
four.
the exploding one. Alright, I didn't know about the color. Then it's 4, 7, 6.
All right, success. As you walk to the back of the ship and you're sort of rummaging around these piles of crates, you notice that underneath this rock in the back here is a blood stain. And as you're sort of, looking to see what's happening under there, you can hear something from underneath this little pile of rubble. It's buried in the sand somewhere, and it kind of sounds like this, like, shh, shh, shh. Hello? Help? Anybody? Help! We're being overrun. We could use your assistance if you can hear me. Please come and help. And you start skimming through there, and you find this device that you have never seen before. I want to take off the word that's on the bottom of it. Dude. Oh, now it's just called the D. You find the D, Eric. There is a strange noise coming from this device, and you can hear somebody making frantic requests for help. Anybody on this channel, please help. The town is under siege. The evil pirate Nobeard is trying to take the last of the town's water. Please, if you can hear this, come. We require your aid immediately.
You listen here, box boy.
What is this sorcery? And then I grab a rock and I start beating it.
No. Wait. The box boy is asking for help.
I love
We can't
that.
let it die.
That was awesome, Eric.
He's imprisoned in is to be trusted.
Look,
I'll
Look,
kick it
look,
first.
look,
Maybe
wait,
someone will catch it. I
Ah!
kick the box.
I'm going to try and catch it.
Okay, Eric, if you smash this box and put up a fight, I'll give you a Benny.
Same here. I'm gonna try and reach out. I don't want this thing destroyed yet.
I want to try and catch it.
I'll wait a little bit, but if it still sounds like sorcery, I might.
Okay, so
I don't think it's sorcery. I think the box is a person.
okay, so I'm gonna put you over here. You run over, hearing this and confront Arnaud, who has this strange device in his hand that he's thrown down.
It.
Oh, he's kicked it.
I
Okay.
kicked it.
No, he kicked it, and then I've run like a fucking football player, and I'm going to try and leap through the air and catch it.
All right, give me an athletics check to see if you can catch this thing before it smashes into this.
Very good. We're gonna do a Keystone Cop. She's running right behind him.
Okay, so that's going to be a success. All right, so you managed to leap out at the last minute. You slide, arms extended, head first into this cannon, but you do catch it just before your face makes contact with this cannon. You're not going to take any damage from this thing, but this is where you end up. Basically right here, laying on the ground.
I hit my face, and I'm like, oh! I shoot Arnaud a sort of angry look, and I start to stroke the box, and I'm like, sorry, dear box. He knows not what he talks of.
It's a genie. It's a genie. Don't trust.
It is
Don't
not.
trust the genie.
It is not. He was that woman I slept with back in Nancy's Tavern Cafe. Hey?
As you stroke the box, you feel like there's these depressions. You can see just by looking at it, there's some kind of light illuminating from it. It looks like it has what it looks like a treasure map that you've seen, back from, I don't want to say back from Burgundy Bay, but you've seen this before. Like this, there's a definite geological depiction on the image, and as you're stroking the box, you can feel these depressions. And your hand slides across one, and you can tell that it goes up and down, and you sort of gently push it, and then immediately after releasing it, you're like, hello? Somebody there? Hello?
I'm here. You can see me, can you not, dear friend?
Okay, so nothing comes from the box. and it just repeats the same message again. Please come to the town of Oasis. These men are trying to take the last of our water. This is Shade calling for help. SOS. Mayday. Hello? Anybody? And it just keeps sort of repeating the same message.
Well, he's not exactly dumb. The Crabs, I think that this box is transmitting a message from somewhere else. He talks as if he is in a different room, and yet the box... You're right, this is sorcery. Smash it up!
I'm back.
I was just drinking my drink when I almost spit it up.
I casually chuck the box over to Arnaud, and I'm like, stamp on it! It's sorcery. We will help the people at Oasis, but I don't condone a talking box.
What are you doing in that box? Who are you?
The same message repeated once again. Please help. It is an emergency. Mayday, mayday, SOS.
Karina points to the box and she makes a gesture with her finger circling her ear. The gesture for something's being stupid or retarded. And she points at that thing, like, step on it.
Krabs, you want in on the action?
No,
Step on it.
I
spit on it. Yeah, I spit on it and then I smash it on the cannon bit there.
Ooh!
We're safe. I've saved us all.
Wow.
I high five him.
Arnaud, I do this.
Yeah, the thumbs up is given. Krabs, or Arnaud, let's see. Arnaud, give me, or I'm going to say, let's say Krabs. Krabs comes over here. He's gonna do a little bit of. I'm taking your player agency away. Give me a notice roll. Well, let's get you rolling some dice, Matt. Mr. Krabs comes over. This box is being stomped on. It starts to fizzle and pop. You got a 2?
Roll the 2. Yeah.
All right, you're just totally preoccupied with this little metal box sparking and fizzling and popping and making all sorts of weird noises before it just sort of goes silent and then makes no more noise whatsoever. All right. Did not for
Box on fire.
it did not foresee that getting broken.
What do you expect us to do? Like, from a time where machines don't exist and there's a voice coming out of it. That's
Pretty much. I thought about it too. Like, there's no way we could justify this. I'm like, kill the fucking thing.
I tried to trust it, but it got weird.
Okay.
If I had curiosity, it still wouldn't have explained box. I mean,
All right. So that said, then, what is your game plan from this point on? You're hanging out. The ship is becoming more and more on fire. Your provisions and this ship are just sort of going up in flames. There is a roadway.
Right, well, I vote that we take the roadway.
That's exactly what Reed is doing.
yeah. I was
That's
gonna
what I
say expedition and grab whatever provision we can carry with us and follow that path that you highlighted for us. That's my vote.
Okay. The train tracks. Choo choo.
Karina will
you need a
water
traveling
something strong.
fan to go to Oasis, though.
You need some traveling music.
Oh, I've got it covered. I am the singing sword after all. You remember that place we used to visit back in Brigandy Bay? Ah.
Karina,
One that you burned out.
So come take a drink and drown your sorrows, and all of our fears will be gone till tomorrow. We'll have no regrets and live for the day in Nancy's Harbor Cafe.
Nancy's Harbor. Oh, well done, Harrison. That is freaking fantastic, man. Have another Benny for your sweet
That's right.
singing action there.
Singing as we're working along.
Okay. Also, I do or would like to mention, as you guys are looking for provisions, you make your way to this box, and you're searching through the middle of the boat, these crates and stuff that are right up here, and as you shuffle the crates out of the way, you can see the legs that you obviously realize are Captain Blade. He's been crushed under the boat. You grab onto the legs and try and sort of tug him out, and he just essentially sort of like rips in half, and there's just a bunch of entrails and a pair of legs and boots. But in the sand beside him, you notice the artifact is sitting there, half covered in dust.
I'll grab it.
Somebody's giving me some nice blood bits. Okay, so you're going to pick up the artifact, Mr. Krabs?
Yeah.
All right. You notice as you grab onto this artifact, it has strange cryptic runes on it that seem to be... you would probably have seen them before because you're familiar with krakens, which are like squid men from your world, and it has like an old ancient kraken runes on it. None of them are activated. It's a very mundane item, but this device or this artifact, when you pick it up, it feels as if it's pulling you in a certain direction without actually like pulling you. It's just like if you turn one way, your hand sort of like your claw, I should say, gets pulled forward a little bit. Like this thing has a touch of like it's trying to go somewhere, but it's a very gentle, almost unnoticeable tug.
I'll just start following where it's leading me then.
Fantastic. All right, so you can write down the artifact on your character sheet. The rest of you can take whatever provisions. You're going to all find enough water for probably a day and a half, maybe 2 days if you ration it. And as far as food goes, the ship was fully stocked. Like it's not wrecked or thrashed or beat up. So you can take as much sort of dry foods as you want. It's just the water that is really going to put you guys in peril, which is the most important part. So you can write that you have a day's water and maybe a week's worth of food.
Boy, who wants the captain's boots?
Wow. Anybody?
Shh. Karina just veils herself from the heat. Covers
Okay.
herself up.
All right.
Come
Yeah, I hear somebody knocking as well.
It's
So-
upstairs doing some fucking stupid work.
Oh, that's what that is.
I'll mute my mic.
And my dog heard me say come in, and he thinks someone's here.
Oh, okay. I think we're gonna split to the next scene then. You guys get your stuff. You got your loots. You found your things. You start making your way down the roadway.
I don't think sorry. One last thing, I'm sure there's no extra bows out there. I had to ask. I don't think so.
Extra bows.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, was I the only bowman on the ship? Out of curiosity, if not, then likely if it already intact.
You just give me a notice roll and see if you can find something. We'll let dice. We'll leave it up to the dice.
Okay. Give me a second. Oh, fuck. Ah.
Dice clicking. Daryl.
I'll re-roll it. I'll re-roll it. There. Fuck.
No fatigue, so that's going to be a success. All right, you managed to find some old janky bow. It's just going to be a regular short bow. It was stashed or laying down in the galley somewhere where you were trying to find cover. You found it in one of the let's say you found it in one of your fellow crewmen. By the way, all of you're coming across crewmen as well while you're searching through the boat, and everybody else on board was dead. For some unlucky reason, some twist of fate, you guys and unconscious, still alive, is with you. So somebody's going to have to carry him.
I being a mute, I can't really call out, but I will motion, get outside so I'm visible, and I'll bang on something and motion for them to come. I'll wave them over, and I'll point to okay.
Okay. You guys want to try and build some kind of stretcher or something like that, maybe to drag him through, keep him with you?
Yeah. Can I use survival for that and build some sort of thing, or would I have to use repair? Or...
Survival. Sure. Survival's fine.
No. And by the way, the notice, I didn't find the bow. It was a 1 and a 3. 2 separate dice. Gary?
So what was going on? Is it what's his
They
face?
found
Uncle
Ock
Jay's
and-
character? Oh,
Yeah,
Ock.
okay. I'm pointing to him. I can't really talk, but I wave you guys over. From one of you is going to come over and I point to him. He's on the floor. I'm trying to help him up, but she's probably not strong enough.
I'm too. I know it's too good to do that kind of manual labor, so he's not
Okay.
helping.
Well, you know what? I'm going to Benny that survival roll because we have to be able to carry him. So there we go. If that's okay, Gary.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I muted my mic to cough and I couldn't get it to come back on, so you didn't hear my awesome joke. He is unconscious. You find him and he's unconscious. You can't get him to come to, but he is okay.
Here, take my Benny and I'll give it to you. I like that. That's funny. And by the way, I rolled a. Why is this not?
You rolled a
Okay, give me a sec here. Anyways, just take it off my thing. And I rolled a 1 and a 3 for my notice check. By the way, it was 2
Okay.
separate dice rolls. I didn't succeed, so I didn't find the bow.
Okay, so you're going to Benny that roll?
Nope. I didn't find the boat. Too bad for me. But I did find okay, which is okay. And
Nice.
I did Benny the survival roll just to make a makeshift litter for him.
Okay, so you guys are going to have to drag okay with you down the road somehow. Maybe throw a cover over him to keep him from being burnt in the afternoon sun. He's actually from Torthcaw, being a red man. He's pretty pretty virile, vigorous. Whatever. He's rugged. I'm sure he could handle it. Okay. Everybody grab your tokens off the whatchamacallit. Actually, I gave you extra, so even if this doesn't work, you guys spend the majority of the afternoon, the beginnings, early parts of the morning, following this windy roadway through the canyons of this strange place that you are not familiar with. You haven't ever in your life experienced this kind of dry heat. Usually on hot days, you still have the warm ocean breeze to sort of blow over you and cool you down, but this is not like that. This place that you're in is devastatingly hot. It's extremely dry. You can feel your face start to sort of squeeze together as if your skin is like tightening up on itself, and your lips are starting to flake a little bit as you walk. Even though you've got water and you're staying dehydrated, everything seems to be fine. But this place just has this air of dryness that you're just not used to. As you're walking down the road, roughly midday, everybody make a notice check.
Mr. Krabs got a 7.
A big old fat old 4 on me.
Okay.
5 here.
Fat one.
Mr. Krabs is the first one to stop. He puts his claws up, spreads them apart, and he's like, "Do you guys hear that?" And in the distance, now that you've sort of stopped shuffling and dragging OK behind you through the sand, you can hear the sound of voices coming from around a bend up ahead. Mr. Krabs, what do you do?
What kind of voices are they? Human?
Human voices, people talking in a language you're familiar with. You can make out the words like, "Pull that rigging, hoist that up over there, don't knock that over," and just sort of wisps on the wind that sort of echo through this little valley sort of canyon thing that you guys are sort of, find yourself in.
Do I recognize any of them as our like some of our crewmen?
No, these aren't voices that you're familiar with.
Now I'll let everyone know there's a group of individuals over yonder.
Okay. So as you're explaining all of this to people, you can hear somebody in the distance. They seem to start yelling, and you can, as the voice picks up, he's like, "That dirty scallywag's good for nothing. Put a bullet in him." And then you hear this gunshot go off. And it's just before the gunshot goes off, you hear this "no," and then silence as this gunshot echoes through the canyon.
Shit.
Is there anywhere I can take cover and kind of hide?
There is loose rocks, and what you have noticed now is that there is the occasional tree, like palm trees that you would be familiar with, that have risen up. Just any kind of like arid sort of looking tree that would sustain sort of a dry heat for a long time appears in the distance. You can see there's some trees and there's some rocks and some outcroppings, and then the bend in the road is where this gunshot came from.
I pulled my mask down over my face and get into some bushes.
Okay.
I'll use whatever cover, sand maybe, and just
Yeah, I was looking for a place to hide, so yeah, loose rock or whatever.
Does it sound like they're coming in our direction?
No, it sounds like they're busy doing a thing, sorting some objects, or it sounds like they're working in the area they're at. With the guy screaming.
Try to sneak into position just to watch what they're doing.
Okay, give me a stealth roll. Now, stealth is opposed by notice, correct?
I got a 5.
I just gotta find my deal here. Here we go. Put this down over here. Hopefully nobody can see it. Should have made this a little bit smaller because it's freaking massive. Year 5 versus a notice of a D6. Give me some good love. Oh, you got lucky. This crew is completely preoccupied doing whatever it is that they are doing. As you stealth down the road and the voices get louder and louder, it sounds as if it's like a construction crew or something along those lines, and they're organizing things and putting things in piles. You can hear them say, "Put the water over there. Make sure those rations are cleaned up. Take that prize and get those coins and jewelry and put them in this box over here." And it seems like there's just one guy barking and giving a bunch of orders.
And then so that we can get on the jump on them, I start impersonating the captain, and then I say, "I put those boxes near the bushes over here."
Fantastic. I'm going to move you guys, including OK, off of the map.
Anyone else making a stealth roll to sneak up there with me?
Yeah, actually, I'll go. I'll sneak up as well.
Oh, really? Now you want to go? Now you both want to go? Now you want me to retcon my story?
No, I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
afterwards. Afterwards, I guess. That's up to you. Whatever.
How about we pick it up from here? Crabs,
Sounds like
just hang tight. Crabs, you come up hearing these noises. You stealth your way up. This is something I was telling Eric about a while ago. My new idea for building maps rather easily that gives you sort of a 3-dimensional set. And I know that looks a bit janky to you, Daryl, because you're on the other side. But as you come around the corner, now here's something cool that is happening right now in Tabletop Simulator. Can you guys see anybody? Any player characters? You just see equipment and gear, right?
Yeah, I don't see anyone on the map.
Yeah, I don't. See
Sweet.
anybody.
So I'm going to flip this guy over after I unlock him. Now you should see this guy, right?
First mate hoax, yeah.
Yeah, how cool is that? So these guys are on the map already. I don't have to put them there. I just need to flip them over, and they become visible. It's one of the new features that they put in. Oops, I just unlocked that when I want to unlock this guy. Flip him over and
So
set him back
unlock
here.
them first and then flip them?
I just unlocked them because I found that, or locked them. What I found was if they weren't locked and you moused over top of them, a question mark would appear. But if I lock them, then you won't see the question mark. So you could move your hand all over the map and you wouldn't see them.
Find them. Yeah.
So where's Mr. Krabs?
I put them away.
Cool. Okay. So put Mr. Krabs roughly in this area right over here. I'm going to give you a little bit of cover behind this palm tree that's up over here. And as you look around the corner, you can see that there's a stream of pirates coming from this town. You can see the sign says "Welcome to Oasis." So, fortunately for you guys, you've gone the right way. But what strikes you immediately is this gigantic ship that's up in the rock, and not because it's like up in the rock, but because it's made of metal. You've never seen a metal ship before. And as you look into this town, down this roadway behind this thing, you can see that there's like these weird metal boxes that you've never seen before, that they have these like openings and stuff in them. Like, I'm going to say you see cars, but you've never seen a car before. So you have no idea what these boxes actually are. But what strikes you the most immediate is that these guys, First Mate Hoax is barking orders at like Sven and Jim and William. And you see this guy pop out and around here. He's like, "Captain, I got all the goods stacked up over here, ready for transport back to the ship." And he actually doesn't call him Captain. He calls him Hoax. Sven is screwing around with some stuff over in this little area here where he's putting some provisions and some other things. And you can see the odd and occasional pirate guy walking through this town up this roadway and stashing stuff up here. This guy, William, is working this winch. Oh, William fell over like a drunk crackhead. There we go. He's working this winch and, slowly moving these little crates and stuff like that up and over here and then setting them down. And that seems to be what they're doing. You can tell, though, there's where'd my blood stain go? There's a dead guy laying roughly in this area that is going to be signified by the blood splat. And he looks like just a commoner. Like these guys are all sort of wearing, a similar sort of red bandana or something amongst them. And this guy, he just looks like some, dehydrated, frail, middle-aged guy or whatever that's just laying here dead. And first mate Hoax is standing, I'm going to say, more over this way. You can see that he's loading his gun or doing something with his gun, but nobody has seen you yet. So, Mr. Krabs, you can, because you are hidden here, signal your friends to come up and take a peek. You have been not seen yet. Actually, I'm going to just ask you what you're going to do. What's your plan, Krabs? That's what you see.
Actually, I'm just gonna walk out there.
Oh, fantastic. You're taking a page out of my book. You're like, hey, boys. All right, so you're going to stroll out to about here?
Yep. Oi there. You wouldn't happen to have a job, would you?
Hoax turns around, looks square at you, turns back, and he's like, boys, I don't know what's going on here, but when's the last time I had a drink? Am I dehydrated? Am I seeing things? You see that? Tell me that you see that. And they all look over and they're like, their mouths are agape, absolutely agape. And First Mate Hoax realizes that he is not actually seeing things. Somebody wants to play a card?
Yep, I just played that piece.
Okay, fantastic. You play the peace card. I'm going to delete that off the board. First Mate Hoax looks at you for a second, reaches down, picks up his gun, rubs his eyes a little bit. He's like, are you fucking kidding me? What the hell? And he slowly sort of walks towards you, and he's squinting as he's doing this. He's like, did you just say something? He's got his gun pointed in your general direction. And he keeps looking back over his shoulder at the rest of the crew, and he's like, what the fuck? And he's talking, and he's like, hello? And he looks at you, Mr. Krabs.
Hello, my name's Mr. Krabs. Who might you be?
Okay, he screams a little bit, and he takes a step back. He's like, oh, shit! Oh, Jesus! He's like, boys! And they all point their gun at you, and he's like, he's looking at you. He's like, he screams from a distance as he's taken a bit of taken aback a little bit.
While they're all talking, I'm sneaking around the side.
Okay.
I'm crawling up these rocks up here.
Stealth check. I will make a...
That is a 6.
All right.
So I get to reroll. So that exploded, so give me a sec. So there's a 6, and then a 7. Happy with that, so I'm going to stick with that.
You can put yourself wherever you want. They are not paying any attention to you whatsoever. Completely fixated on this frickin' talking crab.
So he's so Singing Sword starts whispering to himself as he sees this conversation going down. He's like, what on earth? They've never seen a what are the crabs called again?
Scarillion.
Scarillions, yes.
Yes, he's like, these people look at have never seen a Scarillion before. And a metal ship. And he's crawling, talking to himself like in a movie. And he's like, I better get into a good vantage point before this goes ugly. And I don't mean like Mr. Krabs' face.
The ship that is up on the background is gigantic. Compared to your pirate ship would fit on the front of this ship. And you can tell that it is a ship. Like, without a doubt, it strikes you as this is a water vessel that could literally hold your pirate ship. You've never seen anything this big, and it's made of metal, and you think that at some point it must be some kind of a joke, because there's no way that this thing would float, and that explains why it's like just sitting on the rock, but you're not quite sure as to what it is. But there are other weird, strange-looking objects that are covering the city streets down towards Pierfest, and you can see some movement down in there, and you can hear yelling from inside the city streets as well. Mr. Krabs, let's go back to you for... Actually, let's go to Daryl. Daryl, what is it that you're doing? OK is back with the two of you on this stretcher. What are you guys going to do with him, and what is your plan? Your current deal?
Let's see. Well, we can't leave him behind unconscious. I mean, my natural instinct would be just to go up and see what's going on. I mean, I hear them. I'm assuming I hear them exchanging words, or at least Mr. Krabs. She would have crawled up to get a better vantage point, but she's also a little worried about okay. So, Arnaud's back. I don't know what. She kind of glances at him, and I guess she'll leave Arnaud there for the moment, and then she'll crawl up and see what's going on.
Okay, where are you on the map, and where do you want to go to? I see you back over there.
Yeah, and she's just gonna crawl up, I guess.
Somewhere
Or
over in
whatever
this.
direction everybody else. Yeah, exactly. She'll try and take a vantage point, just see what's going on.
Okay, are you going to try and do some stealth? Is that your game plan? A little hidden action?
Yeah. She'll try that. Okay, 1 second, and I will.
You also, too, do note that you do not have to just click your own clicker. You can click any clicker.
Oh, I didn't know that. Anyway, I just saved the view, anyways. And she gets a +2. It's wilderness, so it's a 6.
Fantastic. Okay, so these guys still haven't noticed the singing sword, nor have they noticed Karina, who is stealthily snuck up there. Excuse me. Mr. Krabs, or sorry, Arnaud, what are you doing? You're back with OK.
Yeah, I'll tap Ock on the shoulder and say, "You'd be fine, my primate friend." And then I just walk in, like next to Mr. Krabs, and I say, "We are lost travelers. Can you help us? Our ship was wrecked. We need to find our way back home."
Okay, so Hoax, as soon as you come around the corner and Hoax sees you, he sort of walks out. He's got his gun drawn, not pointed at you, but he is prepared for anything. And he walks up to you and he's like, "Frenchman? I haven't seen a Frenchman in some time." He said, "What are you doing in these parts? You lost?" And he looks at you. He's like, "What's the deal with the crab? You're not worried about this thing? Like what is going on right here?" And he sort of rubs his eyes again. He's like, I can't be seeing this. I must be dehydrated." And he yells back from one of the boys. He's like, "Throw me a bottle of whiskey." And you see this, one of them reaches into one of these sacks and tosses him like a bottle of ale, and he takes a great big swig of it. And he looks at you for questions. He's like,
Yeah, I say, "Are you retarded? I just said we are lost travelers. This is my lobster friend, my dinner pet that I keep with me. Off limits."
He's your dinner pet. He looks at you. He's like, "I'm not retarded. Name's Hoax, but I ain't ever seen a crab that talks before. I mean, at least not in reality. I've seen some in my dreams, and I've seen fishes and stuff that talk and blow bubbles and do other weird kind of things. But I've never seen one in real life."
And I've never seen a metal ship. That sounds stupid. It would sink.
Okay, so he's kind of taken aback, and he scratches his beard. He's like, "What do you mean you've never seen a metal ship? Metal ships have been around for, man, as long as I can remember." Unfortunately, he looks at you and he's like, he looks over his shoulder and he points. He's like, "You're talking about the one up on the hill. That one back there? You've never seen anything like that before."
No, of course not. It's ridiculous.
So he's like, "Where are you from, mate? What did you say your name was again?"
Arnaud de Savignac. From Paris,
all right.
France.
Arnold, you're from France? You were born in France?
Bien sûr.
And you've never seen a metal ship before. He's like, what year were you born in?
I was born in 1637.
As you answer, he's taking a drink, and as soon as you say that, he spits it out. He goes and he points his gun at you. He's like, "Don't bullshit me. You can't kid a kidder. What do you think I am? You must think I'm retarded. That'd make you like 600 years old. You can't be a stitch over 35."
I don't look so bad for 600 years old, huh?
No, he goes. That's why I'm calling bullshit. And he squeezes the trigger at your feet. You hear this gunshot go off. Where's my? I got a sweet gun. Let's see if my handgun works.
Hey,
Now, he doesn't-
Wait a minute.
Right, that's it.
I played the
Right.
the peace card.
You're
You're supposed to be friendly.
No, he's not. He's not shooting at you. He's just giving you a warning shot. He shoots the ground near you, and he points his gun back up at you. He's like, "Don't think you can kid me. 600 years. What kind of crazy drugs are you on?" And then he looks at the crab man. Go
You're
ahead,
in
Harrison.
big trouble, mister.
Huh?
I stand up. I'm standing in the tree, and I'm like, "You're in big trouble, mister." I've got my mask on, my hat, my big fat belly's hanging out, and I'm like, "The singing sword has come to do opera!" And I swish my sword through the air. Nobody shoots at my friends and gets away with it. Oh! And then I swing through the trees and swing at him.
You swing through the trees, the ropeless trees. So you grab onto like a man. I don't know why your guy is like so drunk. Yeah, and then like launch yourself forward.
Yeah, exactly. Sword in hand.
Right.
How about you?
Okay.
Enough talk.
Oh God!
Find me a friend over there. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's a darn fool.
I want to know why you're so much bigger than Hoax. I want Hoax to be bigger than you. How's that looking?
I've got the obese hindrance.
Oh, do you? So as you
if
come,
couldn't find a video.
so you've got your sword in hand. You leap out of this tree. You come flying at this guy with your sword drawn, full on, looking like you're ready to attack.
Yeah, I'm doing a proper big screw face, and I'm like looking at him, one eye squinting, my sword pointed at him. You
All right.
dare shoot a gun at my friend?
Make me an
Well,
athletics
you'll
check.
put-
Make me an athletics check to shoot yourself out of that tree. I want to see how well you do. So you got a 6.
Give me a second.
Looks like Jack Black.
That exploded. So yeah, 8.
Okay,
Opera singer.
fantastic. So you full on like lurch out of the tree. You come flying at first mate Hoax, who just he doesn't turn to his body. He just looks sort of at you from the side of his head, and he's like he looks at Arnold. He's like, "Arnold, 600 years old," and he looks up just as you start screaming and doing your deal and flying out, and he's like, "We got ourselves an ambush here, boys." Is what he screams out.
Nobody move. We've got 600 more men up in those trees, and if one of you even so much as blinks, I will have your guts for garters. Is that understood?
Looks like we got ourselves
A good ambush. Exactly.
he says
Standoff.
yeah, no, I was trying to think of something a non-binary, non-racial standoff, which is really a weird thing for him to say because he doesn't actually call it like any race. He's trying to be politically correct because this is the year 2200.
Now, Chubbalang, I suggest you drop the gun and drop the sword before you become minced meat.
Okay, so he's going to take a step back. Feel free to attack him if you want to, but he's like slowly like walking backwards. He does have
Slice him.
okay.
I
We're
said,
going to
don't move, and then I poke him with the rapier.
okay. He's going to immediately take that. Eric, am I stepping over with your peace card because he was being peaceful at first, but you guys are kind of attacking him now.
Well, he shot my friend. I'm
That's-
sorry.
That's fair. That's
Okay.
fair.
All right, then it's going to be game on, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh God!
I got 11 for my attack.
Okay, hold on a second. You just simmer your sword down there. Deal.
Sorry, this guy's fucked. He's fucked me off, man.
And I am purple. 2.
Yeah,
Does
but he
anybody
gets
get
to
extra
attack
cards?
before the cards? You just started. You initiated.
Oh, yeah.
combat, so he gets to go first, and then there's a round. No.
Okay.
That is true, Gary.
Does anybody get an extra action card for anything that I need to remember?
No.
Nope.
No.
Okay. Okay, cards are dealt. You take a swing. You rolled. What did you roll?
An 11.
Oh, that's definitely going to hit way past his parry, so roll some damage.
Okay, so that is going to be for my rapier. Sorry about this. Yep. So that is 5 plus 3, and then I'm going to play a card. Shut up. I'm going to play a card, and I'm going to play this card, and I'm going to use improved trademark weapon. So
Okay.
I got a total of 8, 9, 10 damage.
Okay. I'm going to put Hoax down. You taking off, Wyatt? Oh, okay. 10 damage, Harrison? He has
Yeah,
a
boy.
toughness of 5, so that's going to put him at shaken and a wound. Oh, I don't have Hoax down as whatchamacallit. I'm going to just notch this down to 1 wound, and first mate Hoax stumbles backwards and or forwards. Oh, that's awesome. I love that so much.
He stumbles towards.
All right. Yeah, he's taken aback. You do your little stabby deal on him. He doesn't see that coming as you leap out of the trees and whatnot. He's completely taken by surprise. You stab him in the guts. He kind of looks down, stumbles back a little bit. He's got his gun in his hand, and he's like, "Get him, boys!" And then he's just kind of laying on the. I just put him down because he's shaking a little bit. So I have shit cards, which is fantastic. So we're going to start with aces, kings, queens, jacks.
I have
This
no
one
idea.
queen.
What I have.
Jack.
Okay, queens it is.
King.
Daryl?
I can't see my cards. I can't see.
I
my
have-
Wait.
Can you hear me?
King!
King! Matt's not a king!
Sorry. Daryl, I don't know why your card ended up over in that pile over there. But all your cards should be in your little red box.
Thank you.
Okay, aces.
I have an ace.
Work your business. Sorry, Matt, I couldn't hear you.
She'll. I'm not sure what the range on these bolo knives are, but she's gonna creep up and she'll keep on moving up into this palm tree over here, to the far left.
You're going for this one over here.
Yeah, and she'll stay hidden if she can. I don't think she
Okay.
can strike anybody from that range with that.
Roll stealth.
knife. Okay. Give me 1 second. Here we go, and done. And another 6. That would be a 10.
Wow, I got a 7, you scumbag. Okay, so you sneak your way up into that. The bolos are no better than a dagger, which I believe is 3, 6, 12. I was just trying to find what I did with my. Man, here we go. I think I wrote the stats for him on his deal. Bolo hooks are strength plus D4, ranged 2d6, and 3, 6, 12 is their spacing. So you have successfully stealthed your way over here, and then you want to try and attack. See, Wyatt, have fun today. You want to attack one of these guys?
What's the range? It looks like it's 10. I'm probably at max range.
You get to this guy, yeah, you're going to be throwing at a -2 for range.
So yeah.
Vulnerable or the drop?
The drop.
Is it
This would
throwing
be
or
true.
shooting?
Throwing, which is athletics.
Athletics.
Okay, gotcha.
Now the drop is +4, just +4 to damage. They changed it, didn't they?
To hit and damage.
Okay.
Okay, well then I'll do that. So it's a die 8 and a die 6. So that's a 9.
Shit, yeah.
Yes. So that's going to be enough. You're attacking Jimmy.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Poor Jimmy does not see these things coming. They fly from your present location through the
Nice.
warm summer, sandy, salty air.
It's enough for a raise, right?
No.
Oh, because I thought it was a ranged attack.
What did you get? 9?
Yeah, I got a 9.
Sorry, you're right. Because you get the drop. Yeah, that's going to be.
Okay, hold on. So that's so far that's 8. Did I get a 4 on my dice? I think I got a 4 on my die 4.
On one of them, you did. Yes, you can see the blue dice.
10.
Fuck you, Daryl.
10. That's 12 and 16.
Okay. Jimmy, standing there, paying attention to what's going on, sees his buddy, his first mate, get stabbed, completely caught unawares as these bolos come around, and they wrap around his chest, and then one of them slices right in through his neck. He just starts gurgling and immediately drops to his knees.
Hooray!
Poor Jimmy is man down. Let's delete Jimmy. Put a blood stain there. Check that action out, boys. Kings, Matt, what's Mr. Krabs doing?
How far am I from William?
Where's William? Way up there. I'm going to say that you're probably about 12 squares away, ish.
Okay, so if my range is 8, how do I do? Is it just a -2 to reach him?
Well, what are you trying to do?
I'm gonna do elemental manipulation. I'm gonna try to cause the ground underneath his feet to give way so that he comes falling into eucalyptus.
Okay. Do you need to be within a certain distance? Like, is it a touch attack?
Yeah, the range is 8.
Pardon me?
The range is 8.
Okay, so you could just literally just move up to here and you would be in range.
Yes.
Okay, I rolled a 6 for my spell casting.
Okay. So that's going to be a success. Your spell goes off. Should probably I don't have the spell in front of me, so you're going to have to remind me what it does. But I do, however, have power cards. Search.
Woohoo!
It just
And
gives
if I
me
look-
control over the basic elements. So like I'm doing is pulling it out from under his feet so he comes tumbling into eucalyptus.
Okay, so you're using the air deal to push someone, essentially.
No, I'm using earth.
Earth. Move a square foot of earth. Half in that each round. Okay. All right. So with your success, the ground gives way, and he comes tumbling to the ground, down to the bottom. Oh, wait a second. I'm trying to launch him down the cliff here. Ah! He screams as the dirt gives way. He goes pounding into Eucalyptus, who then immediately takes a step forward and hides behind this other box. William, I'm going to make an agility roll for good old Will, and let's see if he can manage to slide down the hill. Ignore the double sixes. He does not
There
have.
goes the G.I. Joe moment.
Yeah, right there.
That's the best bit.
Where did my dice go? So he gets a 3. Not enough. He lands on his face down at the bottom, and you can hear him. He's moaning and groaning from behind these crates. He will be prone. Queens? Lamoureux, you're my queen. Nope, you're a jack.
Oh no,
Jack.
I'm on a queen.
Okay.
I'm on a queen. Sorry, I was. Alright, so here's what's gonna happen, right? I'm gonna fuck this fucking fuck up.
Oh, I just want to say something right now. You know what I did? Or I should say, you know what I did not do? Shuffle the frickin' deck.
Oh, that explains a lot.
Look, that's why Daryl's got an ace of clubs. Matt's got the king of
ace,
clubs.
king,
Oh my god.
Fine. We're just going around the table.
Perfect. This is
Yeah,
working
that's-
out
that's how you
wonderfully.
like it.
I love it this way.
This is like ICRPG.
There's,
Okay, so
it's
I'm gonna do a wild attack,
cool.
and he is going to throw his sword in the air, and as it comes down, he's going to slam it in with his boot. It's just a fighting attack, but that's how he's doing it. So here we go, wild attack, and he's like, so tell when you get to hell, tell Satan I said hi. Fighting attack. Boop, boop. And I got +2 on this bitch. So that is going to be a 6, and that exploded. So,
You guys, your fucking rolls are brutal.
so that is a 10 total.
Okay,
Hit.
that's going to be a hit with a raise.
Damage-wise, that is a 12 so far. Well, no, 14 so far. And then let's add a bit more on that.
Wow. I feel like you guys
so
are
it's
cheating.
15, 16, 17 because I've got the edge for the remainder of the encounter as well.
Okay, so first mate Hoax was he was only down to signify that he was shaken. Your sword flies up in the air. As it comes down, you put the heel of your boot into it with such force that it goes right through Hoax. Not completely, but like the blade sticks out of the back, and he grasps the hilt as you're like, as you say to him, "See you in hell," and he looks up with blood gurgling out of his mouth. He falls down to one knee, and he's like, "We gave up religion in the 22nd century."
In the what? In the what? In the what? Wake up! Wake up! And he starts to slap him. Wait! Oh my god. Well, shouldn't have done that.
Well, on a bright note, though, I guess we know who goes next. Hey, Eric.
Yep. All right. So Arno is going to move and position himself behind those barrels there and take
Okay.
cover.
Sweet.
And then draw both of his pistols, his flintlock pistols, and fire them at one shot at Sven Euclides.
Why is
So
Eucalyptus?
it's 3 for each.
Why is he up top? Oh, sorry. Eucalyptus is supposed to be back here. He's got Eucalyptus has cover behind this crate right here is where he ended up. He was behind the other one.
-2?
Sure. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's going to be -3 and -5. Let's move back to my dice. Shooting. I got a D6. All right. So
Double
that's
sixes.
the first one at -3, which isn't enough, and then the other shot at -5. All right, so yeah, I'm just gonna play that as like there's a cloud of smoke around me from firing those two flintlocks. These guys probably don't know. Well, I'm sure they use guns, but not like these. So I'm like hidden behind the barrels with a giant cloud of smoke in front of me, and that's it.
There you go.
There you go.
Stand up straight.
That's
Stupid.
me.
Stupid steam box won't stay up straight. A gigantic
Put it on top of the barrels.
can. Let's see. I mean, I could without locking it. There we go. Great big puff of smoke coming out of your double flintlocks. And then, sweet, that takes it around to my turn. You hear some noise from the back as you hear this, "Oh, I'm okay." And then that's all you hear. It's just silence again. Oh, damn it. I clicked on him. Stand up, Eric, you drunk. Fantastic. All right, gentlemen. My boys are going to start taking some shots at you boys, which is going to be actually pretty sweet. Shooting. Shooting of a D6. They have cover. This guy, Sven, is hiding behind a barrel. He's going to make his way across this over here and try and hide behind these barrels. But as he runs across, as he strafes across, he's going to try and shoot you with his gun. Now, immediately after, I'm going to roll 2 dice here. They're not wild cards. One of them aces. So I got a 9 on Mr. Krabs. And my other one is going to be a 3. as he comes flying across here, I'm going to take multi-action penalties as well, so that's still a 7, so that's actually not a hit with a raise. Sven leaps out from behind this barrel. He's got his gun in his hand. This is not a flintlock-looking pistol. This guy has this gun. Wow, what happened there? All of a sudden, I'm hearing myself. This guy has this gun that you have not seen before, and without any smoke or steam really coming out of it, like billowing like a flintlock, you just hear this pop, pop, as he takes a shot at Mr. Krabs and at the singing sword. So the one that hit Mr. Krabs is going to hit, and I am going to roll 2d6 plus 1 for pistol damage. I like the looks of that. So 11 and 2. He hits you for 13 points of damage. Mr. Krabs is muted.
Okay, that's a wound.
Okay, you gonna try and shake it? Soak it?
Soak it? Yeah, yeah. Is that vigor?
Yes.
Is that vigor or spirit?
Spirit is for shaken.
Shaken.
I rolled a 9.
Okay. So that's going to be enough to soak any wounds. This bullet ricochets off of your hard encrusted shell, and you just hear it sort of zing off as it passes past your ear into space somewhere behind you. And then you hear OK be like, "Oh!" from way back down the road. I missed the singing sword. My next guy, he's going to pop out. Eucalyptus, he pops out. He's like, "William, get up, William." And he pops out a little bit here. He's going to take a couple of shots too. Pop, pop, multi-action penalty. He's going to try and hit Mr. Krabs in the singing sword too.
I wouldn't.
Oh, I got a 6 on 1. Oops, I got to read. All of a sudden, I'm Daryl. One, I rolled an 11 and a 4. Both are going to hit. I'm going to do triple 3d6 plus 1 on Mr. Krabs.
It's multi-action though, right?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, you're right. My bad. What did I roll?
11 and 4.
So one is still going to be, that 11 is going to be a 9, right, with the multi-action penalty. So you're still going to take the 3d6 damage, which is a combined total of 13 points again.
Who is?
Who is?
On Mr. Krabs.
Who is?
All right,
Okay.
I'll spend my last penny.
Who is?
Who is?
And I rolled a 7.
Okay, so again, your hardened armor-like shell reflects the bullet, and you're soaking that damage. 2d6 plus 1 on the singing sword. That's where my other bullet was going. 8 points, so that's going to be 9 points of damage.
Who
Looks
is?
like that's just enough to hit the singing or shake the singing sword.
Who is? Yeah, it's sorry, yeah.
Okay, and he pops back in behind his cover, which is kind of a little goofy. Going up for some reason. And then he's yelling at William to get up. Now, because William failed his roll, I'm going to make him make an agility check to see if he can right himself. On a success, which he succeeds, he is going to stand up, and he looks up at Karina standing up on the cliff. He's going to do the same thing, double shots. So his first one is a 1, and his second shot seven. Still not enough. So you're going to take 2d6 points of damage from this guy's gunshot. Throw that in there. 8 points of damage. You have a toughness, so that's just going to put you at shaken. And then I believe that is going to be it for my turn. So, the deck of cards has now been shuffled. I will shuffle it a few more times.
Thank you.
And starting with red, orange, yellow, green, and I am purple. And I got a
the
2.
Same one again.
I got a frickin' 2. All right, aces. Why is Daryl's card going to the wrong
Who is?
section?
He's red.
Yeah, I know. I'm dealing it to red. I start with red, but it's sort of, for whatever reason, dealing it to a different spot. So Daryl's got a 7. And queens. We got 2 queens. Where are the rest of your guys' cards? Are you getting rid of them somehow?
No, I got my
It's on the
card,
table
nigga.
somewhere. It's on the table somewhere.
Oh, I see. Okay. I see. Done. All right. Aces? No aces? No
Yep.
kings? Queens? We got 2 queens.
I got queen. Hold up.
Yeah.
I got a queen of spades.
So you go first, Matt.
Raise.
Mr. Krabs goes first.
Who is?
Who is? Huh? What
Who
you
is?
call it?
Three of them between these cards. What the heck?
You're
Trying to
so
get
low,
my-
man.
What? Huh?
Your voice is low.
Well, then
Who is-
fucking
I
adjust
turned
it.
it up.
I can't adjust my own.
Okay. User volume increase 150%. There we go.
Okay, I'm trying to get in between these 2 crates, and then I'm gonna use my burst on eucalyptus.
Okay.
That's... And I rolled a 2 for my spell casting, so it doesn't go off.
Suck it, Trebek. I'm find the burst spell in my list of deals, but it's completely irrelevant because it doesn't matter. All right, so you sneak up over in between this little area here. The problem is you're hitting this model, right? If I remove it, see what I'm saying? There you go, Mr. Krabs. Spell sucks butts. Does not go off. Harrison, what are you doing?
I'm going to now that Krabs is creating a sort of distraction, I'm going to leg it up round to the side of this guy, and I'm going to sort of shove his face in between the 2 sacks, so that Mr. Krabs can sort of bite his face off next turn, and I'm going to pull the guy's trousers down.
Okay. Oddly enough, he does not have a belt. He's just wearing some kind of weird sash that is, easily untied. Make
So
me
it's going
a.
to be, it'd be like a sort of an agility trick to try and lower his parry next turn.
Okay, fantastic. So, opposed agility.
Yeah, there we go.
Agility. He's got a 6 in agility. Give me some sweetmeats. I got a 4. All right, so you successfully bend him. You push him in here. He's looking at Mr. Krabs, and Mr. Krabs is doing some weird stuff, man. He's got these clickety clackety claws, hocus pocus. He's saying some weird, archaic mumbo jumbo, and Eucalyptus is looking at him with his mouth open a little bit. Does not see you come up behind him, and with a quick swipe of your sword, you manage to cut his sash, and his pants fall off. And he looks down at his pantless forms, and then lurches forward a little bit as you shove him into these 2 crates. That puts us at Eric would be next.
Yep, 10 of hearts. So, Agno will drop his pistols, his useless flintlock pistols.
Yep.
And then I want to run over there, do a flying kick over that stash of junk there
Mm-hmm.
to topple it over him. So
Yep.
probably athletics versus agility.
Fantastic.
So it's multi-action that, and then I'll make an attack with my rapier once he's buried under that. So, all right. So it's gonna be -3 with athletics. Hold on.
Let her rip, Chief. I want to see you.
I just
You
gotta go back to my board there.
spacebar or not
What do I
spacebar?
get?
Shift 1, Control 1.
Control 1 maybe. Oh, okay, What did I get? 2 and 3. I'll spend a Benny on that.
Damn right
'Cause
you
I
will.
haven't succeeded at shit. Okay, 6 minus 3. That's still only a 3. So, you know what? Another Benny.
You're going chips in, man.
Yep. Alright, so that didn't succeed, and then I'll make an attack at minus 3 as well, which will be fighting. I got a D10 on with that, so hopefully that's better.
There you go.
I get a 9 minus 3, that would be 6 versus his parry. Is
Yeah,
that
he has a
enough?
parry of 5. So you're successful.
Alright, so yeah, I go to do the jump kick, but like my foot gets against that pile of trash, but it was harder than I thought. And I was like, oh mon dieu! And then I just kind of flip around and use my rapier to attack him. So there'll be, let's see the damage. It's just a D4, D6. Oh, I got a 4 in there.
Wow.
So 10, 11 damage.
Okay. So you good with all that then?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. You leap from behind these barrels, make your way rapidly across the loose sandy ground, leap up into this pile of crates, barrels, books, bags, and whatever it is, thinking that you're going to topple it over on Sven. You just sort of bounce off it, but you manage to put one foot up on it and still have one foot ready to land on the ground. And so it's not quite as bad as you thought, but Sven, he pops out from behind here and he starts laughing. He's like, "Ha ha! You're a fool, stupid Frenchman. What kind of a dummy are you? And you know he's Sven, so he's French too now. All of a sudden, wait a second. I want to make. Yeah, he's like, stupid
It's
Frenchman,
contagious.
right? He's like, he starts laughing at you. You know, calling you names and stuff, and then you just drive your rapier right through his throat, and he's like, just before he realizes his demise, he's like, I guess it was not that funny. And then he just drops to the ground and dies in front of you. Which puts me to my last turn, William. William is in the corner. He drops his gun on the ground. He throws his hands up in the air. Oh, sorry, it is not my turn. It is Daryl's turn. Daryl got himself a 7.
Okay. Sorry about that. Took a while, a little longer than anticipated. The bolo knives, are they like a chain where you whip them as a bolo, or can you extend them as a ranged weapon? You throw one end and it stays. How does that work?
No, you throw them like a bolo. They just have axes instead of balls at the end.
Okay. Well, she'll leap down, flip down, and pick up the one she shot originally.
Okay, it's going to take you a while to unwrap it from this dead guy.
Oh, okay. Then you know what? She'll pass that, and she'll head over to grabbing her hand axe. She'll move on over there, and she'll make a menacing. I guess I don't know if I can. You know what? She'll just go right next. She can run a movement. She'll move right next to the singing sword.
Okay, so you're going to end
To the
up
right of him. Yeah, exactly there. And I'll have my axe out.
Hello.
there-ish. With that done, William drops his weapon on the ground. He puts his hands up in the air. Oh, wait a second. Is Eucalyptus still alive? Yes, Eucalyptus is still alive. My bad. I thought you killed him for some reason, but you did not. So, never mind. Retcon, suckers. Because I have two guys, so they're going to bolster each other. Eucalyptus looks back at his buddy William, and he's like, uh-oh, do I see a card coming?
I was thinking about it. When she's spinning the axe, she'll do this. Everyone's going to end up being shaken, but Tel Aviv. She's spinning her axe in her hands dexterously.
All other characters, friends or foe, are shaken.
So mending the spike. Kind of think of Indiana Jones with a guy spinning knives back and forth. She's doing the same thing with the axe twirling in her hands.
Okay.
Harrison is spazzing out over there.
I see that. All right, so that's going to put my two guys at shaken. So with that said, I'm going to make. I'm just trying to find where my spirit is. D6. Make my spirit roll to see if I can unshake. That's one success. One success. So Eucalyptus unshakes himself. Play the card. They both end up shaken. It's now my turn. Eucalyptus unshakes himself, screams back at William, who is petrified, standing there. You can see a small bit of urine, or a wet stain at least, come down his leg as he's looking you straight in the eye, and you're twirling your axes with a tormenting look on your face. And Eucalyptus is like, yeah, William, one of these days you're going to grow up to be a real man. And then he's going to take a hack at, with his sword or his knife. He's got a cutlass. And he's going to take a hack at the singing sword. Fighting is a D6. And he drops his sword in the ground, looks the singing sword right in the eye, and he's like, "Oh, that wasn't what I had planned." And then he turns.
Exactly.
He's gonna run.
Importance of wearing trousers. He's not wearing. Yeah, but his trousers are by his ankles, man.
Oh, sorry. That's what. Never mind. I don't know why I completely forgot that. Okay.
Yeah, but he did try to run, man.
Yeah. So he trips and
Distracted or vulnerable?
I'm gonna say he's now both, because he turned to run. His pants are around his ankles as he made a grab for his sword. He ends up on the ground, face first in the dirt. He rolls over and you can see him sort of reaching for his pants as he's looking up to see if he can dodge a few attacks. Man, I didn't get to do anything that round. You guys stink. Your stupid cards. Okay, deal to red. That did not go to the right spot. Orange, yellow, green, purple. Give me a good one. Where's my joker? God damn it. Okay, starting with aces. Anybody got an ace? King? Queen? King?
Yeah,
I see a king.
King. I'm king. Okay, so
What do you do?
trouser dude.
Yeah.
How many we got left? We got trouser. We got William. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay,
William
so William
is shaking in his boots, and Eucalyptus is distracted and vulnerable. So he's -2/+2 to anything that you do to him.
I think we're all
Okay.
shaking as well.
I'm going to go up to William.
Oh, that did say.
And
Hold on a second. You got to make a spirit roll. That did say friend or foe.
Friends and foe, yeah.
I'm shaken.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Sweet. Okay, so spirit roll. Here we go. Le rôle de spirit. Oh no.
That double ones?
Yeah, it is.
He cries.
Yeah.
Arena, terrified. What?
Okay, so
This battle's been going so well. This doesn't even make sense.
I know. All of a sudden, your partner in crime shows up, swinging this axe in a tormenting way, and you start shivering in your boots like you're super afraid of her for some reason. I don't know. It's not like she can call out or taunt you or keep you busy in that way. But well, sorry about your bad luck, bro.
Yeah, never mind.
Queens, jacks, hens.
Yeah,
Got-
right here.
Arrow with a 10.
She'll advance on Eucalyptus, and she'll take her axe and bring it down on him.
Okay.
And let me see here. Alrighty.
You
She's
just
gonna
gonna
die
kill
6
an
fighting.
unarmed person?
Oh, she'll actually. You know what? Is he unarmed now? His pants are down, losing, and she puts an axe to his throat, basically like a.
I was
Sorry, just getting him
no
surrounded.
carry on.
Okay, so this guy Eucalyptus has his pants around his ankle, and this guy William is shaken. He didn't drop his weapon. He's still armed.
Okay,
I thought
well,
you said
she'll
he
put an
threw it
axe
on the
to
ground.
Eucalyptus' throat, trying to get him to stand down. Stand down or he dies. She's looking at all the Eucalyptus and what's his name? The other guy.
Okay, make your smarts check.
Oh,
You're going to try and taunt him, I'm assuming.
Yep.
So you have
Yep.
taunt as a skill?
I don't think so. No, I don't. No, I don't. I just have
Okay.
smarts. So is that unskilled? A die 4?
No, it would be whatever your smarts is, I think, isn't it, Eric? Straight smarts? Smarts versus or intimidation? No, I guess it would be just a D4. You are correct. It is a D4
Okay.
versus his smarts.
Right. Ignore that. Oh, goes around, comes around.
Oh, fantastic. I want to say that you so ineffectively taunt him that he automatically becomes unshaken and he just starts laughing at you with your stupid twirly axes. And he's actually going to make some fun of you. And he's like, no, actually, no, he's not. Because I want to be somewhat politically correct and not make fun of people that can't speak. That would be mean.
Theoretically, kind of be meta. He doesn't know I can't speak. I haven't done anything. Haven't said anything.
This is true. So that's going to be it for Daryl's turn with his gigantic fail. 9s. Eric's got a 5. Eric's the only one that has to go. That's left to go. I got an 8.
No, I have a 3.
Got a 3. Okay, so my guy's going to go next. Jimmy. William unshakes. He's looking at you with your axe, and he looks down at his gun in his hand, and he looks back to you, and he's like, "Really? You brought a knife to a gunfight?" And he starts laughing, like, "What are you thinking, lady?" And he's going to try and squeeze off a couple of shots with his gun. Now he's going to take one shot at Karina, and then the other one at the Singing Sword, considering you guys are both side by side. While he's squeezing the trigger, he's yelling at Eucalyptus to get up off the ground. I'm just going to roll 2d6s and see what happens here. So his 5 is going to be a success, which is his first shot at Karina. You are going to take 2d6 plus 1 points of damage for a whopping 6 points.
Isn't that multi-action?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Thank you, sir. Where's my enter? So I rolled a 5. Okay, so both shots fail. Man, Matt, I'm going to give you a Benny for that. I like it when I get caught doing stupid things like that and not remembering. I have a free Benny for the deal. So 2 shots. He's pointing. He looks down at Eucalyptus, who's scrambling to pull his pants up, and as he squeezes the trigger twice, both shots just sort of fly wide, and he doesn't know why. He's looking at his shit gun like it's bent or something like that. He's like, "Get up, Eucalyptus! What are you doing? I can't be the only one to take down these three rugged, handsome-looking fellas, except for that crab guy who's kind of creepy-looking and weirdo." Eucalyptus is going to make an agility check to see if he can get up.
Didn't he already go this round?
I don't think so. No, he's prone and he's laying on the ground, so he's just kind of rolling around trying to pull his pants up. And again, I literally get to do absolutely nothing. Eric, what are you doing? What's Arnon doing?
All right. Well, you will rush over there to attack. Let's see, William, and all the while go in there. Another. Maybe I shouldn't do this, but yeah, another multi-action. First one will be a taunt.
It's too fun not to.
Him, I say you fight like a drunk Irishman, because I'm jingoistic. So instead of fighting like a girl, it's just drunk Irishman, and then attack. So I'll be -3 for each. Let's see, taunt. I got D6. get rid of that fatigue. Oh, a 6.
Nice.
7, so I get a 4. Then that's opposed by smarts.
Yeah, in which he got a 2 because he's not very smart. He looks at you, he's like, for a Frenchman, just by looking at, or wait a second, he's like, oi, for a Frenchman, you sure nailed it. Right down to the old Irish. And then he takes a big swig out of his drink.
All right, and then so I'll make him vulnerable, giving me +2, so that'll cancel out the multi-action, and so I can roll fighting at -1 instead.
Let him rip.
See, that was 3 -1. Now I'll spend another one of my bennies, since the GM is pretty stingy with giving bennies at anybody other than Harrison to
Himself.
fuck him.
I haven't got any. I only got one.
Pressure's on, man.
Oh,
There you go.
6.
My pirate's got a
11
toughness of 5.
-1, so 10. Well, 10 is against the parry. What's his parry? 6?
5.
5.
Is it-
Alright, so I hit with a raise. So that'll be 2d6 and a d4. That was a shitty roll. A 7, so shaken, I guess.
Toughness of 5, yes. Parry of 5, toughness of 5. So he becomes shaken. As you stab at him with your sword or swing at him he's looking at you for a second, and after he makes his Irish comment and he sees his life flash before him, he's got his gun in one hand and his bottle of whiskey in the other, and he looks at his whiskey and he's like, oh, that was close. One more sip of your sweet nectar before I die. As he looks up at you.
Could the shaken be that I knock his bottle of whiskey off his hands instead, and that really pisses him off and he's shaken?
Yes, okay, let's do that. So you smack it out of his hand, and he looks down at it as it empties itself onto the ground. He had not yet had time to cork it, and he looks down at it, and you can see a tear forming in his eyes, and he's like, oh, you are only my one ever free, true free love. I don't know what the fuck all of a sudden I cannot remember what. So he's crying and looking down at his spilt milk on the ground, and he's completely preoccupied with it. That puts me through. Who's last? I think we got Matt going last.
Mr. Krabs, yeah.
Mr. Krabs.
So Mr. Krabs is gonna grab a bottle of whiskey off of these crates and go over to William and say, "Oi, I bet you be needing one of these, huh? How would you say you trade me that pistol there for this bottle of whiskey?"
You're trying to trade him a pistol for a bottle of whiskey. Make your smarts check. Let's go with that. Persuade.
I rolled a 4.
Okay, he rolled a whopping 2. He throws his weapon in your general direction. He drops down to his knees, and he's like, please don't kill me. Have you ever heard the tale of the luck of the Irish? Well, what could be luckier than losing me favorite bottle of whiskey and getting a new one? And not only that, but meeting a whole bunch of new friends.
To which I'll uncork the bottle with my mouth and take a swig, and I'll hand it to him.
Oh, you're a fine crab man looking person, and the two of you hug. And he gives up. Now, Eucalyptus is still laying on the ground, shaking. He's rolling around, and he starts yelling at Jimmy. He's like, or at William. He's like, "You Irish puss! You're," and he just goes off in this tirade. But he realizes that this fight is over, and he's also going to give up. So he surrenders. Everybody surrenders. Yay for you guys! And because you guys have won such a glorious first battle, I'm going to give you some bennies back. How's that sound, Eric?
Thank you, Captain.
Thanks, Captain Gary.
There you go. All right, so William and Eucalyptus manages to sort of right himself. I'm just going to move him out from inside that box because it's a little goofy. Set him over here. They are down on their knees. Oh, I moved Arnad. Ebs. Like this. And the two of them on their knees, William taking a swig of his bottle, thinking that it's going to be the last time he has a drink. He looks over to Eucalyptus and he's like, and he whispers something to him under his breath. Who's going gimpy? Is that Harrison again? Yes. So you notice that that William is looking at Eucalyptus, and he's comes a little bit closer, and he says something to him. He's kind of whispering as he takes a swig, and he looks over at him, and he says something, but he's got his hand up over his mouth, so you can't really read his lips or any of that kind of stuff. Mr. Krabs, you notice this.
Yo, what are you jawing about over there?
The two of them kind of have a bit of a soft chuckle between one another, and he's like, "What are you talking about?" William's like, "We're just having saying our farewells, our goodbyes, seeing as how this is about to be our last day on Earth."
Now go up and take the bottle of whiskey away from William.
Okay, he's like, "See, look what you've done. You've outright killed me." And he lays down on the ground and he feigns death, even though he's not dead. He's just like, me poor whiskey, and this is the end. And he's like, he says, he doesn't say farewell to his partner Eucalyptus. He just lays down and he's like, I can't take this anymore. Arnaud, what are you doing when you see this goofery going on?
Nonsense. So there's none of them left then? Even
just these two guys?
Eucalyptus. Yeah, okay. Can you take us to your superior?
He looks up at you and he looks at William. He's like, "Get up, William, you fool. I don't know what it is with you and why you're so attached or in love with that bottle of whiskey. You've always been a drunk fool." And as he kicks him, they both sort of stand up, and Eucalyptus looks at you and he says, "It'd be me pleasure to take you to see the good captain. Ha ha! I thought you'd never ask." And he's like, lead the way, and he points towards the town. Now you can hear, as you approach the town, some things going on. I'm going to take you.
We're gonna get Ock. Yeah, we're gonna take
okay.
Ock with us.
And Gary,
We're gonna make them carry on.
Okay, and you retrieve your...
Well, and I'll pick up one of those fancy musket pistols they were wielding.
Okay.
One on the ground from one of the corpses.
Yeah, me too. I want a gun.
All right.
Exactly. I'm trying to know, but I know they're muskets, but they're kind of pretty good muskets or pistols or flintlocks, whatever they're called.
Cool. So this is, you guys want to take 5. I'm going to load the next scene so that you can see it.
Yeah, sure. Let me know if I find a bow as well. She prefers bows. She'll take a pistol and a bow. Sorry.
Yeah, tell me what the name of their weapon is, so I'll just write it down, look it up, and add it to my sheet for my weapons.
So
Guns
it's just going to... Yeah, it's just going to be like a standard gun, right? It's nothing fancy. It's 2d6 plus 1. Typical pistol.
Depends. Is it black semi-automatic? Is it...
Semi-automatic, yes.
Is it like a modern R-Day gun?
Yes.
And it's a pistol?
Yes. 6 shots.
All right. 2d6 damage. Pistol.
P1.
How many ammo in there?
There's some ammo kicking around. Each one of these guns will hold like 6 bullets, and then you'll find I would say clips in their pockets. So each one of them has 2 clips. So you're going to have a combined total of 2 clips and say 4 bullets.
Okay.
And there's enough for one of you to each grab a gun. Eucalyptus had one, William had one, and the 3 guys that died. So there's guns for all 5 of you.
Okay, perfect.
If you give one to OK.
God.
Fantastic. All right, let's take 5 minutes and we'll wrap it up with this last scene.
+1. Okay, perfect. Cool. 1911. Sorry about before, guys.
Well,
My son realized he had to work, and of course we're having a bit of a snowstorm, and he just realized last moment he was supposed to work, and I had to go out and clean out the car. My dad took him, but I had to clean off 2 cars, move them. I was well.
hmm.
I shall be right back as well. How do you add custom? Okay.
So Harrison, does everyone live in flats there, or do they have houses?
It's actually a good question. Only wealthy people live in houses.
Hmm.
Nowadays, anyway. It's either if you're wealthy or old. Because back in the day, house prices were really good here. And nowadays, it's like impossible to buy a house. It's like, we've been watching this program, like, because we're lame as fuck, all about this guy who owns like a really, really expensive boutique dress shop in London, right? And this guy's making mad, mad money. And it's like a documentary show. And even he lives in a flat in London because that's just what it's like. And if you live up north as well, the house prices there are good, but there's no jobs, so it's just pointless.
So you pretty much have to live in the country to have your own house.
Pretty much. It's not that bad. I mean, there are houses opposite us, but they're really expensive.
If you just find the housing market in general, no matter where you live, I guess it's part of the times. It's rising so fast.
It's
Mm-hmm.
pretty cheap here, but nobody wants to live here.
That's because you're in the neighborhood.
Yeah, it's shitty town. All the companies, big companies, are leaving. Just now, GE they just sold the place because the union was just too expensive, and now the new company that comes in, all the people that have been working there for 30, 40 years, now they lose half of their benefits because the new company doesn't recognize the union and their benefits. So.
Oh, See,
They're pretty
that's an issue
pissed.
I have. That's an issue I have with your pension being wrapped up with the company that you work at. If it's outsourced to another, like an insurance company, like ours is hooked up to Sun Life with FedEx. So even if FedEx already successfully went belly up, or they shut down for whatever reason, they couldn't touch my pension because it's somewhere else. The company doesn't have any part of it. They do, but they can't take anything out of it. It doesn't belong to them.
Yeah, I mean, you can get a townhouse here for like 60,000, but you can
That's not bad.
open your window and touch your neighbor's house, basically. So
Oh,
That's pretty cheap, 60K.
That's just
I
normal for
Yeah.
England. I mean,
My-
even the nice houses in this area are right fucking next to each other. And those are like £250,000.
Yeah, it's about it's about what it's double the Canadian currency. You're right. That's my house is the biggest on the street, and or at least one of. And I have 2 floors and a finished basement, which is an apartment unit or a living unit up on itself with all the entries for washer and dryer.
Okay.
My dad lives there. And this place cost me about was valued at 500 and something thousand, and I bought it for 430. So yeah,
Bloody hell.
it's about 220,000 pounds around that. I think of it. I think it's a 2-for-1 with the Canadian dollar.
It's about that, yeah. Something like that.
What's going on, gentlemen?
Yeah, but 60K
Yeah.
is like a car payment. I mean, you could have that paid off in 6 years.
Exactly.
Yeah, I should come live there, man.
What about your neck of the woods, Matt? What's the housing value like?
Oh fuck, Illinois is expensive as hell, man.
Oh yeah.
I think
I will say
live
one
in
thing.
I live in the cheaper area, and I think we paid like 155. But the other houses, and that was back in 2006 too. So
Well, I will
wanna
say
say
one thing
that
with all
that's
your
up
posts,
higher.
the hamburgers look good.
freaking Illinois takes 33% of your paycheck in tax.
damn, that's Canada.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you think
it's-
about it, Canada's 50% because they take 35% of your paycheck and then tack on another, I think, 12% PST GST.
Ours is
Yeah.
bad in Quebec. It's anything we purchase, there's a 15.5% tax.
But we do have medical.
Yeah, it's the same in England. It's like 30%, something like that, all in. But then we got medical, so it's pretty decent overall. At least I'm not dead.
With
I
all the
know, I
things that
remember
did.
my stepdad, when he worked, that was like 25 years ago, he made almost $40 an hour, and 52% of his income went to taxes. So.
Yeah, it's brutal. Shasta McNasty. All right, everybody's back
Yippers.
by the
You
sounds
know
of
it,
it.
girlfriend.
All right, let's wrap this bad
Is
boy
that
up.
big dork with the glasses back?
Daylight
Matt?
into
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Hey,
Who
Harrison.
is? Who is?
Shut up, Eric.
I'm assuming that Eucalyptus
King.
and William are ahead of you guys as you walk towards the town,
Yes.
right? Being that they're your captives, so to speak. So these guys,
Zero contraptions.
yeah, that's exactly what you notice. You haven't seen buildings built like this with this archetype or this architecture, not archetype, and structure. And you notice that there's these wires and stuff like that, these ropes that are hanging between the buildings, and there's this, like you wouldn't. I don't think you would really know what glass is because you didn't. They just had shutters and windows and stuff.
I had glass.
In pirate times, in the 16th, in Charybdis.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think the bottles were made out of?
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. You know what, Eric? For being so smart and so wise, let me give you another Benny Buddy. How's that sound?
That's like some
You're
Uncle
gonna,
Jim.
gonna say you were gonna take it from me.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do
That's
that.
like Uncle J level passive aggression right there.
Right? So yeah, this sort of is a little bit off-putting because there's these weird containers. Concrete is definitely something that you probably had because that was invented in like early Roman era. So, all right. That said,
Come on, you pour concrete every day, and you don't know the history of concrete.
I not just tell you when it was founded or created thousands of years ago? So suck it.
Double negative, man. You've been hanging around with women too long.
That said, cars. Cars are definitely not something that you have ever seen before. These four-door looking unusual things sitting on the ground, some of them turned over, all of them rusted. These things, they don't look right. They look like it. You can tell just by looking at them. You've seen rust before on different metal objects and shit like that, but you've never seen these weird-looking contraptions before. Some of them are turned up sideways. Some of them are upside down on their hinges. Most of them look like they wouldn't actually. They look broken. Is what you think in your head. And as you walk into town with these guys, and you're sort of taking in your surroundings, these strange buildings and strange plants, the unique architecture of the city of Oasis. There goes Harrison popping away. That's so weird.
It's like he's rapping.
Wait, what do we say?
Nothing. In the middle of the town is this giant water fountain. And you've seen this kind of stuff before in some of the major cities before the apocalyptic world, ending event of water filling your city and your town. So the main thing is the architecture and these weird-looking vehicles. I can't really describe them any other way. These weird boxes that are strewn about, and the wires that are connected from town to town. You do notice like there's these strange lights. Yes.
What are these carriages of no horse drawn? They move, but they're drawn by no horse. Anyone?
William and Eucalyptus sort of shake their head, and he looks back. He's like, they're called cars. And then he tells you, he's like, that one, she's a 2102 Kermescaline model 7.
Could you... I slap him around the face. Could you please speak in English, you swine bag cunt fuck? Look.
Wow.
Look, you take us along this in this magical land, and you speak of Cass, and look above the street, bottled light, tripwires everywhere you go. But for giants, you speak only in riddles, friend. Now speak properly, speak in English, or I shall give your sack a good tapping.
Give your sack a tapping. Haven't you done enough? You already caught me trousers. I'm here with me pants in me hand. I got me young nippers hanging out in the warm summer breeze. Haven't you done enough? Listen, I don't even have me crotch armor on at the moment, so to speak. But listen, let me tell you what these things are. It's like hundreds of years ago, these used to be what we called vehicles. They're transportations. Like you said, horseless carriages. He's like, you look around, he's like, these things haven't been used in hundreds of years, ever since the great dried out apocalypse when we lost all of the water and civilization fell to pieces. This is all that's left, this dry husk of a world, and these small towns, these little outposts like this one. And he's like, look around. He goes, have you noticed anything yet? And then he kind of pauses for a second, and he's like, you notice there's no people here. This place has been gone for some time. And he's like, we come in and we jack these towns, and we take whatever we can, any kinds of precious metals, any kind of materials that might help us while we're out and about. He's like, we're pirates, just like you, except, and then you can hear down from the end of the street, he gets cut off a little bit, and you hear this guy down at the end of the street. Let me pop this guy over here. Oh, not that one. There we go. See this guy standing here, and he has his gun pointed off in this general direction, and he's calling out to this guy. He's like, just open your doors, come out and give us the water, and we'll be on our way. No harm will come to you, Shade. And then the guy's voice that you heard on the CB pipes up, and he's like, I don't believe you. I don't believe you for a darn second. I know the second I tell you where I got my hidden stash of water, you're going to put a hole in me. No way. And so he's...
Go ahead. It's the box boy.
It's exactly what it is. And Eucalyptus, like, he looks at you funny. He's like, what do you mean, box boy?
We heard this man on a box earlier. His voice had been taken by fairies and imprisoned inside the box, so we smashed it.
How
so
did he escape? He escaped.
Exactly. We must find his
Released him
secrets.
from his metal prison.
Thank God we're heroes.
He's shaking his head.
We should find him and ask reward.
He's like, you found a box with noise coming out of it? That guy's voice in particular? He's like,
yes.
You boys found
him.
You found a radio. It's called a CB radio. It's a shortwave, and it allows you to talk into one at one end and receive that sound at the other end. He goes,
look, forget who is this CD radio? I don't know any CD radio. Point is we saved this man. Anyway, keep your voice down. We saved this man from the box, and now we need to get to him and get our reward. Isn't that right, fellas? Don't all jump.
Right?
Karina will actually. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Karina will poke William on the shoulder. Because
Okay.
who was actually talking about the water and all that stuff? Who was talking about how it disappeared and all that?
Somebody off in the distance. The guy from the...
No, that was Eucalyptus. He was telling you. And then this guy way down here, this guy here is, he's talking to somebody, trying to convince somebody to give up the water stash.
Yeah. Here's what Karina's going to do. She's tapping as he's talking, she'll tap him on the shoulder. She'll gesture towards the fountain of water. And then she'll look at all the desert, point to the desert and the horizon. And she'll point back to the water and she'll make a gesture as if, let's saying, where is the water? Where? Like.
Okay, who are you talking to? You're talking to Eucalyptus?
Yeah, she's not talking. She's just gesturing.
It's
to the water,
gesturing, yeah.
And she's just putting up her hands like in a shrug. Karina.
Who is, huh? I don't know. It's a running joke between Harrison and Eric that started in scene 1. Who is?
Water in the fountain?
I don't know if she's conveying her point. She's trying to figure out where all the water went to. You mentioned the water left. She wants to know where it went to. And I don't know how much Karina knows about Charybdis and the water coming in from other places. If she does know anything, then she might suspect that maybe the water that was here in this world somehow ended up in Charybdis as well.
Okay, so make let's make a smarts check.
Okay.
I'm just going to actually make it. I'm going to make it on Eucalyptus instead of you doing it. You're making your hand gestures. You know what you're saying. Eucalyptus is sort of watching you as he's telling you guys what happened, and he has no idea what the hell you're talking about.
And
He's
I'll
like,
draw in the sand. I'll draw in the sand as well.
okay, so you're going to come down.
Good question. Is there water in the fountain?
No, it might look like there is, but it's really supposed to be like an empty fountain. I see what you're saying. So maybe there's a touch of water in there, let's say, just for shits and giggles. Very, very small.
Just ruined my immersion there.
Yeah, how's this for ruining your immersion, dickhead? What fountain?
Put around her hand in the water as well. She moving to the fountain, grabbing some water out of her hand and letting it drip and saying, where?
She could have, but there's no fountain there. I don't know what you're talking about.
There is.
True. Got a point. There's none.
Some more
Kings!
magic.
Kings!
All right, so as you're trying to like sign to this guy and do different, the Eucalyptus is dumb he's dumb as a friggin' horseshoe, so he has no clue as to what it is that you're trying to convey to him.
Maybe not Jimmy, the other guy as well, William. She'll do both. She'll get both their attention.
William.
William, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe smarter than your average pirate.
Let's give William a shot and see what he has to say. Nope, they're both dumb as doornails. 2 once.
She shrugs, exasperated, and just stomps off.
Okay, so William, while you're making these hand signs and stuff like that to Eucalyptus and William, the two of them are getting more and more frustrated, and they're making a bunch of racket. They're like, "We don't know what you're saying," and they're looking over their shoulders, and they're like, "Do you guys know what she's saying? Because we don't know what she's saying. Nobody here has any idea. Can't you speak?" And their voices are getting louder and louder to the point at which this guy from down the street, you hear him yell down there, and he's like, "Eucalyptus? William, is that you?" And they both turn. They're like, "Yeah, boss. We brought you a little prize." And he looks back and he's like, "Yeehaw!" So,
What is going on?
well, this is what's going on. This guy looks at the lot of you. He is going to pop in behind these barrels right here. Boosh. Get him in there. Boosh.
Biff.
You know how I got to get him in there? I got to frickin' lock him in place and then scooch him.
You got
There
the
we go.
sound effect too.
There. So he scooches in behind these little barrels and stuff like that, and he pulls out this gun. Now, this looks like a pistol, but what you notice about this pistol is that it illuminates this strange green light, and it has not only a barrel on top, but a weird-looking squirt barrel on the bottom of it as well. And he yells down through the city streets. He looks over. He's like, "I'll deal with you later, Shade. For now, I got me a bunch of rascals to round up." Coo, coo, coo. He's like, "Eucalyptus, Jimmy, you boys all right?" And they both of them call back. They're like, "No, we ain't all right. We got ourselves in a mite bit of trouble." And William, the Irishman, he's like, "Boss, they took me lucky bottle of rye." And then the two of them fucking are going to make hightail for over here and over this way, unless you guys are going to try and stop them. Oh, somebody's got a card. What does this card say? Out of the frying pan. Play to get the party out of some troublesome or deadly incident. This leads to some other trouble, however, such as capture, escape to a new location. With its own harrowing adventure, or the sacrifice of a noble ally. Okay, so play to get the party out of some troublesome or deadly incident. You are about to be into a deadly incident. Move this card right here. Who played that card? Was that Eric?
No, that was Mr. Krabs.
Okay, so Mr. Krabs plays this card. These two guys are just about to start hightailing it when you notice what they're up to. And you immediately grab out and grab onto their pinchers and pull them in close. When you hear No Beard from down the street, he's like, "Oh, darn it! You boys are supposed to run. You know the deal. How am I supposed to shoot them up if you're standing there? I can't kill my crewman. One of my finest, Eucalyptus. And William, me and you, we had plenty of nights on the tip of that bottle of rye. I just can't bring myself to see putting a lot of you down. All right, let's call a truce," is what he calls out. He's like, "What do you boys want from my men in return?"
Water.
You can't have none. Have you looked around? Water. Everybody wants water. Water's more valuable than their 2 souls. Wait a second. He's like, "Maybe we can fix up a deal here." So he's not coming out from behind where he's at, and Mr. Krabs, give me a notice roll.
Okay. 5.
A 5? Okay, you notice as he's talking, he keeps looking down beside him, as if there's like somebody that's there. Like it's weird. He's either got some kind of weird quirk, or he's looking at somebody also hidden in behind the boxes that are down there. He's like, "Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. How much water you boys need?"
I tell you what, how about we just trade these 2 here for Mr. Shade?
Sounds like a plan. I tell you what, you give me those boys, I'll be on my way, and yeah, I'll leave you to's it.
What do you say, fellas?
Yes!
We.
Silence.
Fantastic. All right, Matt, have a Benny for working your way out of this one. Mr. Nobeard comes out from behind his little hidey hole, and he's like sort of stealths over this way, stands behind his car a little bit, eyes you up a little bit, and he comes up here and he's looking for a second, and he's like, holy shit! I thought you were wearing some kind of costume, but god damn it, you're a real crab. What the hell? And then you hear him, he calls out, boys, like, Loot Water, you see this? Come and take a look at this. I ain't never seen nothing like this. And then you see this person pop up, land on top of this crate, and they're like sort of eyeballing what's going on, except she's going to fall into the crate there. I'm going to put her over here.
Box boy.
Like, Box boy.
Is it you, Box boy? Were you the man from the box?
There you go. Another guy pops up.
Radio.
And he yells down to No Beard. He's like, God darn it. He goes, I didn't want to say nothing, Captain No Beard, but I thought for sure that was just some kind of costume thrown together with bits. But God damn it, I ain't never seen a crab man before in my life. And then he leaps off this thing, lands on the city street, and he makes his way over to where Lutwana is. Sort of stands in front of her, covering her.
Where does CD radio?
Oh, he's like, Shade? He's like right there in that building, and he leans over and he points, and you can see up against. There's a wharf here, so I get some wicked echo. On this one side of the town, behind these buildings and behind these cars, is like a boardwalk, and there's there used to be some kind of there used to be shops, ice cream shops, and stuff like that, but. No Beard points and he's like, Shade, that good for nothing scoundrel. He's like, he's back there in that there box, and he points, and you see the kitty cream is this little thing. There's rollers in front of it that roll up a little bit, and you can see this guy peeking out with his glasses. And as he rolls this roll up shutter, and he's like, somebody called my name. Yeah, there to help me. Hello.
We saved you. From the box.
He looks out, he's like, you ain't saved shit. I see that dastardly Captain No Beard right there, and his two fools Loot Walnut, and that other guy took it. They tried done shooting me up.
Well, all right. I'll save you again. But you realize the fee is going to be gigantic.
He goes, the fee? Yeah, I ain't got nothing. He goes, what, you want my water too? Ain't nothing in this place or these parts worth nothing but water anyway. I ain't giving that up.
He sounds like Uncle Jay.
He really does. He sounds exactly like him. You're a yeah.
It's like, no way you getting my water. Forget that deal. That ain't happening.
Don't know what to do, guys.
Let's go to
Hand over a bottle of whiskey to William and say, here you go. Now
all right.
Get on out of here.
William takes off running with his bottle of whiskey. He's like, boss, look what the fine lads have given me, boss. These guys are great. Let's get out of here. I've had enough. I lost my whiskey. I found me whiskey. I lost my whiskey. I found me whiskey. Let's go. And then he starts hightailing it off. And Eucalyptus, he's got his pants in his hand still. And he looks at Arnon. He's like, can I go?
I suppose.
All right. Fuck you, Frenchie. I'm out of here.
No, wait. As he passes Karina, she'll do the famous Eric Lamoureux, head feint. She'll lean in towards him like that.
Yeah.
Her head towards him.
Okay.
Just as a little
Flinch
feint.
move.
Yeah, exactly. You got it. Just no weapons in her hands. Just like a little, startle him a bit. That's it. And she's smiling.
See what happens here. Okay, so you make that head fake move. He turns around and just like before, he's like, fuck you, Frenchie. I'm out of here. He starts taking off, and then you head fake him. While you head fake him, he's like, oh, he goes sideways, and he hits this friggin' this car, and he trips in the middle of the street. And as he's like trying to stand up, you notice that he's not wearing any underwear, and you can see his furry red balls in his pucker hole. And he just sort of skedaddles around here as he like screams off, and he runs down towards this pier. He's like, "Don't worry, Captain, I'll fire up the ship." or sorry, I got the wrong accent there. It's like he's like, yeah, Captain, let's go. We got enough loots. Let's go get to the ship. So the lot of them all sort of disappear down this boardwalk, where you hear this contraption fire up, and it's not like anything that you've heard before. It has this weird sort of low hum, and then it just speeds off into the distance. That's going to leave you turds hanging out with Shade. You guys all make your way up here. And Shade, sticking his head out, he looks at the lot and he's like, good goddamn, what the hell's that there? Ooh, you got some guy in a crab suit there. What? He's like, I appreciate the rescue and all, but where you fellas from? You don't look like you're from around these parts. Hello? Crabman, you speak? I saw you speak.
Burgundy Bay, dickhead.
What?
Charybdis.
What is a Charybdis? Is that some town around here I don't know nothing about? Ain't on my map.
Well, usually, shut up. Usually we just call it the world. So we don't usually refer to it by Charybdis. But I'm from Burgundy Bay. Hello. I sing there for money. I'm an opera singer. I'm in plays. You might have heard of me. My name's the Singing Sword. Whereabouts are we, by the way? This looks like Korath Tar by the looks of it.
Where's your instrument? Go ahead.
I sing. Okay.
No, not you. Somebody else had said something, Harrison. Sorry.
Oh.
All right. You gonna sing him a song?
Yes, I am, and it is going to be. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I mean.
Blur. Some blur.
A woohoo! Do 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 do. A woohoo! Dee 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 dee. That one needs a little work. I haven't even got a title yet. It's just called Song 2.
He slowly reaches up and pulls the shutter down, and the last thing you hear him say before it closes, like, "God damn, that's the worst sound I ever heard." That sounds like some of them there 16th century goddamn Whoosy music. I mean, what the hell? And then the shutter slowly closes. That's the worst racket I ever done.
Wait.
He peeks
Wait,
out
I'm
between
sorry.
a small
Look.
opening. What?
Look.
Huh?
We just need to know how to get back to Burgundy Bay. We want to carry on drinking and carousing.
All right.
Where
So
are we? Which land mass?
he slides this thing up. He's like, let me see if I can get you some directions there. Come on up over here and have a look around. And so as you walk up towards the kitty cream, he sort of disappears behind the counter a little bit. He pops up and he spreads this book out, and he's looking at it, and he goes to the back of the book, and there's a long list of names. You guys would know it as an index, but they didn't really probably have indexes back in the day. And he's like skimming through. He's like, B, Boulder's Crater, Bobby's Town, Booger Country. He's like, I don't see no Burgundy Bay here. He's like, what part? Like, you from? And he looks at, excuse me, Arnon, and he's like, where'd you say you're from? Did he call you a Frenchie? You from France?
Yes, and then I ended up in Charybdis. Yes.
I don't know what you mean. Ended up in Charybdis. Is that some kind of lady? Some kind of honey pot? Some kind of city? What is a Charybdis?
Karina will start writing something in the sand.
Wait a minute. I'm not.
He yells over at you. He's like, what's that one doing? Is it got a stick in the sand? I'm 40 feet away. What are you, retarded?
It's big letters.
Yes, she actually is. So that's offensive.
Sorry, my bad. You're actually right.
Listen.
Mentally challenged. We stopped using derogatory slang words way back in the 1900s.
She looks at
Christ
you.
Almighty! Would you shut up for a minute? Look, I was Arnold. You remember when you got tepaloted to Charybdis? You don't think that we've been tepaloted back to your home, do we? Do we? You? Who?
Yeah, yes, there was like a great flush and ended up in Charybdis, and now here we are in this metal infested land.
She
Oh, no.
will write in big letters Persia, and then an arrow, Charybdis. I don't know if you recognize
Shit.
any of these. So she's originally.
She wants a hug.
No,
Karina.
she makes it big enough.
Karina, come here. I give good hugs. Mm,
She gives you cut eye.
mm. He wraps her arms around her. His arms around her. Mm,
She looks up at him. Any recognition from him?
mm.
Yeah.
So the two names that you've written down, he has no idea. He's like, I don't know what no Charybdis is. Actually, he leans down and he pulls out this, what you guys would assume is some kind of looking utility, and he holds it up to his eyes, and he's kind of looking at it in the sand, and he's like, CARI. Is that a D or a B? God damn it. Charybdis.
And Persia.
Now, Persia would be something that he might have heard of in the past. He's like, Persia? I ain't heard of that in hundreds of years. That used to be someplace back in the old days, I think. My mama told me a story about something like some guy named Aladdin. Flew around on a carpet, had a genie and stuff. I think he was from Persia, but I don't know. But is that what you're trying to get at there? Just nod your head, dummy.
Yeah, she nods.
Mm.
And she looks at him. And
I'm still hugging her.
Can't speak, and she gives you an elbow.
Ah!
Yeah.
All right, you only had to say.
So
Mr. Krabs takes the
he's like-
artifact up. You ever seen one of these?
you want to bring that up a little bit closer? I can take a peek at that if you want me to there, for sure. And he's like, I can see a little
She
bit here.
sounds so much like me.
He's like, I can see a little bit here in these here binoculars.
I'll scurry on over to the window.
All right. So as you're scurrying, he forgets to take down the binoculars, and then at the sort of the last minute, he takes a step back. He's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!" And he looks at you, and he's more interested in you being a crab man than he is in this stupid artifact that you're holding up in front of him. But he's looking at it, and he's like, is that supposed to be some kind of thing that I don't know about there?"
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, I ain't never seen it before, I can tell you that much, but that riding kind of looks a little familiar. I might have seen that in some ancient text from way back in the day, but I'm not 100% sure. I tell you what, I do know who could help you out, though. There's this old grumpy cunt, this old curmudgeon-y fool lives up in the hills. Name's Old Man Matt Stark. He's a curmudgeon-y motherfucker. Probably won't help you out, probably just tell you to fuck off. Yeah, most of the time, every time I've seen him or had to deal with him, he's looked at a book for the first 2 pages, and then he's thrown it away, and he just gets mad. I don't know, every time these stupid X's thing. I don't know what it is, but yeah, he might be some help. I tell you what, since you saved the city and all, I'm gonna do you guys a right favor. And he reaches down into his pocket and he pulls out this set of keys and he holds it up. Now you wouldn't know what these are, but these little strange metal devices that he's sort of spinning around in his finger. He's like, I'll tell you what, you boys know how to drive a car? Never mind, I said that. By the looks of you, you ain't from around here. So I got this here boat. It's like a boat anyways. It's a hover boat. It doesn't really go in the water because there ain't no water. Hasn't been no water for hundreds of years around here. But I tell you what, seeing as how you guys did me a solid and scared off that no beard and his no good crew, I'm going to give you the keys to my hover boat. I'll give you this here data pad recorder. And he slides it out, and there's a map on it. Now, this is the exact same device that you guys already fucking crushed up. He's like, I'll put in the coordinates for this here crazy old son of a bitch up in the hills, and you guys go talk to him. He'll probably tell you what that thing is there right there. You know what I mean? I sure do appreciate you guys helping me out.
This is the box that we saved you from, yeah?
What do you mean, save me from?
Well, you were stuck in the box, and we smashed the box, and now you are here.
You smashed a good radio? What are you, crazy? Never mind, don't answer that. I can see.
To save you.
I don't know what's happening here.
You were trapped in there, sir. We heard your tiny voice in there.
So he
And
walks.
we smashed you free.
As you say that, he walks to the back of the shop, which is not far, 5 feet or so, and he grabs another one of these devices, and he has 2 matching devices. He presses the button and he holds it on and he hands it to Mr. Krabs. He puts it, he just kind of dangles it out there so you can grab it up in your pinchers. And then he picks up the data pad and he presses the button and he's like, hey, can you hear me on this here thing? Check this out. And then all of a sudden you immediately hear it in your hand and you're like, I don't know what you mean you arrest me from this thing. This is a CB radio. Citizen bed. Where are you going, Frenchie? Hey, Frenchie, come back. This here's...
I go with him.
He goes, man, you think this little box is some kind of scary? Just wait till you see my hovercraft. You're going to love it. It's like right over here. Come on.
I'm kind
And
of
so
startled at first and jump a little bit, and then I start shaking the box, and then I put the box up to my ear. And I
Yeah.
look at what's his name, talking into it, and be like, "Oh, okay, I get it."
Yeah, so he's going to explain. He's like, let me tell you how that there box works on the way over here. You see this here button? You just push this down, you talk into it, I'll hear what you're saying. This is how we keep in communication. That's what I'm saying. This is
All right, so I try it out, but I put like my lips against it, so it just like
Yes. Could you hear me?
listen here, Frenchie, it ain't a dick. You don't got to put it in your mouth.
Karina roars out laughing. Fucking loses it.
So he's like, follow me. I'll take you down to my hovercraft. So you follow him a short distance down the pier to where there's this like canopied area. And inside this canopied area is what you can blatantly see is just like this boat. But on the side of this boat, it has these weird circular objects, and there's no sails whatsoever on this boat. He hops up into the thing, and who's going to go with him? I'm going to say, let's say Frenchie goes with him. He's like, come on up here, Frenchie. You seem to have the most trouble with all this stuff, so let me explain this technology to you before you get in and start running off like a little girl try to put a dick in your mouth. So you slowly climb up onto this boat. He's like, just use the stairs here, man. See right here, and he kicks him over, boosting this little like side step on the side of this aluminum thing pops down. Boom, boom. You walk up in it. There's enough room for everybody. This thing's probably 30 feet long and has 2 engines on either side of it that rotate. So he turns it over. He's like, you just take this here key. Don't lose this, because without this, you ain't going to get this thing here started. We got these here nuclear fusion spindle niggles. I don't know how this thing works, tell you the truth, but you just put the key in here like so, give her a turn, push this button, and you're good to go. And as he pushes it, you can hear this thing just sort of go, and then it starts spinning up so fast that it just becomes almost silent, and you just hear it sit there hover as the jets. He's like, this here's the throttle, and he pushes it forward a little bit, and you can hear the noise go vroom, vroom, and he's like, and this here's a steering wheel. You know what a steering wheel is, right? You don't put this in your mouth either. It ain't a dick either. He's like, and all you do is this, and then he's going to take you out for a test run, but you're sort of tethered to it, right? So he gives you the lowdown on how to operate this vehicle, how to get it to go forwards, how to get it to go backwards. And he's like, this here is what we call a hoverboat, created back in 2175, I believe it is, something like that. Hover technology, sort of floats off the ground, and there you go. That's how she's done. Now listen, this here data pad thing you try to put in your dick in your mouth. If you take a look at this here, I'll put in the coordinates. See this little beaten button right here? I want you to follow this thing. It'll take you right to where you need to go. Are we clear, Frenchie?
We?
He looks down at the rest of you. He's like, what about any of you understood that damn thing I said?
Karina raises her hand.
Yes.
Yes. She nods.
You said the. I understood that word.
Yes.
Yes.
Right here. And he holds the data pad up and he points at it. He's like, all you got to do is follow the directions on this thing here. It's a little arrow, and the arrow will point you right to the circle thing there. And when you get closer, it'll get closer. It's pretty straightforward. Simple stuff.
So as he's talking, I'm leaning over and stroking my chin, getting a good look at it, and sort of doff my cap back slightly. And I'm like, yes, I see. It's much simpler than you think. You just give it one of these, and then I just tap it wildly.
He's like, well, that's about right. I almost made a disparaging mentally handicapped whatchamacallit again. So he looks at it, he's like, man, I got a mentally challenged 3-year-old can operate this damn thing here. What's wrong with you? Oh, well, never mind. Obviously, I take you guys from this place, Charybdis, don't ever have nothing like this. But here, this is what you do. Oh, let me shut the engine off. And he turns the key off, and as the engines sort of wind down, the whole thing starts to shake. And then there's this gigantic explosion as one of these engines just completely like explodes.
I dive for cover.
And
What?
Dive for cover.
All that
fade-
for an explosion?
we fade to black. It's 10:02. I just pulled the Lamoureux once more. We're going to call her there. We'll pick it up next time. You guys are obviously going to have to, or as the world fades to black, you just hear Shade. He's like, "Good goddamn, broke my damn boat. Going to need a new engine for this one. Good thing I know where to get one."
What an ending.
Good stuff, Gary.
Yeah, that was awesome. Cheers,
That
Dave.
was awesome.
Oh, man.
It was excellent, Gary. I hope I'm
Yeah.
not meddling that she actually know how to write. I didn't think I kind of just let it go with that.
I just meant she was really far away because he's on a boardwalk which is made of wood, right? So you can't really draw on the wood.
No, it'd have to be in the sand. Yeah.
That's why he got his whatchamacallits out. I'm going to reset my adventure deck here so you guys will get new cards next time. Hopefully, I got 50 some odd cards in each. The gist of the next adventure is one thing that I want to say is you guys can't really just go walking off into the sand that he's going to tell you about. We'll pick it up on the next one. You're going to have to find engine parts to repair this thing.
Holy shit.
Wow, that was crazy. You're going to have to find engine parts to repair this thing. And from there, you'll have to go meet that curmudgeon-y old mad Matt Stark in the bush and see if he's maybe got some information with this, whatchamacallit.
I've got a suspicion that we're going to meet all of us. We just met Uncle Jay, and that was a fantastic.
Yeah, that was pretty damn good.
I don't know what happened to my damn table. Shit's gone sideways. Also, everybody can take an advance for next time.
I realised, Gary, that this whole time I've only been novel.
Oh, okay, you should be seasoned.
That's fine. So I'll upgrade my dude.
Cool. All right, I'm going to kill the stream. Stop streaming. Adios, amigos.
Right.
Stream
See you
mates.